Welcome back for day 2 of the Achieve Your Dream Summit. Once again, I'm Coach Rick, your host for these powerful 4 days of expert training that could change your life and your business. Now, let's start off today's showcase of summit speakers with branding expert Susie Smith. Welcome once again to the Achieve Your Dream Summit. I'm your host, Coach Rick. And my big thing is strategy for destiny. What were you born to do? It's all about personal development and helping people find what it is they were born to do, get the right tools to make it happen. And I'll tell you, we got one of those toolkit ladies here today. Her name is Susie Smith, and she is amazing. She does branding. I'm going to read you her bio, but I did want to let you know that my mother, who passed away like at 94, when during the Great Depression, she lived on the plains of Montana and she actually did branding, but I don't think that's the kind of branding that Susie has for us. So here we go. This is Susie. She is a global leader in career branding management and the visionary co-founder of the Branding Gurus and Career Niche. And that's with your husband, who we also have a video on. I love that. Susie has developed the Iconic Brand Mastery signature program for entrepreneurs and the Career Marketing Mastery for job search and career advancements for career-driven individuals. She helps individuals and groups with proprietary courses, coaching, and mentoring to assist the future you to thrive in this new exponential age of growing competition, growing diversity, of marketing channels for your visibility, and increasing technological change that we are in. Her iconic brand mastery program, got to get it right, will show you how to clearly message so you will find the path of least resistance to greater PR and visibility, brand awareness for sales, and being the preferred leader in your space while creating the greatest positive impact for your audience and the world. That's a big worldview, young lady. Susie is dedicated to her clients' successes, and it shows through their ability to help people achieve their dreams. I like that part. In regards to jobs and career and solopreneur growth objectives, as well as many Fortune 1000 organizations and their team plans. She looks forward to helping her clients stand out as iconic brands that thrive, as she has more of an optimistic view of the future than most career coaches as a career futurist. In fact, she uses wonderful brand strategy tools from the best minds in future planning for building your iconic brand and business. Now, as a speaker, Susie offers seminars, talks, summits, workshops, and coming soon in Q2 of 2022, a YouTube and podcast show interviewing guests on today and tomorrow's disruptive personal brand landscape, which addresses your opportunities to become the iconic brand. Woo, that's a mouthful.
Oh, it's awesome.
All right. Well, I think your husband put that together. I think he likes you, doesn't he? Yeah, I think we get along. And I just love the fact that I help people figure out their destiny and provide them with tools to get there. And you provide tools to get that destiny to where it needs to be.
That's right.
Yeah, in the workplace, in the real world. Yeah, yes. Instead of just pie in the sky, like some gurus, follow your dream, live your destiny. And I'm going, what is my dream? Do I even have a destiny? That's why I put together strategy for destiny.
Yes.
Now they figure out what they're doing. They hand it off to you. Woo!
Yes.
Here we go. Okay. Since I asked this of everybody. Okay. So I want a wide-eyed answer from you, young lady. Here we go. Since the theme of this summit is achieve your dream, I'm going to ask you, Susie Smith, what were you born to do?
I feel like I'm on a quiz show.
You are.
What was I born to do?
Answers. Yeah, no wrong answer.
What was I born to do? I was born to help people achieve. I love to serve my mankind, humankind. I want to go out there and I want to help them to be the best that they can be through their own personal brand, as well as, how they thrive in either as an entrepreneur or how they thrive as a person in, corporate world or in their career, because it makes a huge difference. Because the one thing that we have to understand is that you start your career at a very early age, and that reputation continues on throughout your career and who you meet along the way. So I want to be here and help out people to understand and help them look at their own personal brand and their own reputation and their own assets to evaluate their assets and we'll talk about that later.
All right. Okay. Well, the second question I'd like to ask is, what did you do to get there? That's a big one. That's loaded.
Oh my gosh, are you sure we only have like 40 minutes? Okay, I'm going to start right from the beginning. How it all started. I really was into sales, loved sales, always had loved sales, always had a knack for sales. And so when I ended up working for an organization that, I was an international salesperson, international business manager for a software company. And so what had happened is that this was during the dot-com era. No, not recently, not 5 years ago, but the original dot-com era when it had busted. So what had happened is that software company was no longer there. So what had happened is that if any of you are out there that are Canadians, you would understand that when you had to go for unemployment, you had to go for certain classes to be able to be eligible for your unemployment. So during that time, they had asked that we were going to be doing like a resume course. So they said we had to do our resumes ahead of time, right? So I had to go and research what a resume was all about. What are the criteria? It's not just like a typical, just your job description, and it has to have more, and it has to be your achievements, your successes, your assets, like we're going to talk about. And so I just so happened to know somebody that had a staffing firm, and he just so happened to be my husband, not at that time. So he had tons of books on his bookshelf in the office. And so I just kept grabbing them all along. And what had happened is that I finished all my resume. It looked beautiful. It was great. And then when I had taken it with me, we were supposed to show it to the person that was doing the training at the government site. And so one of the things they asked us to do was to pass that resume down to the next person, and then that person will evaluate it for you, right? So when the person passed theirs, and I said to the person, well, you got to do this, you got to put your skill sets, what's your assets, like what's your transferable skills, and I was just kept asking the question, what are your achievements, like have you ever increased profit, have you ever came up with a new filing system? So I kept asking this person a question. They kept looking at me, going, no, it's really important, and so they started putting it all down. And so finally, after, the trainer said, okay, we're all done now, how did it go? And then at the end, everybody else went to me, said, can you take a look at mine at the table, right? They weren't listening to the trainer, right? They were actually looking at me as the expert.
Sure.
And that's how I ended up starting Career Niche with my husband, Christian, because at that time we found there was going to be a need in our own city for individuals to come and get their resumes done. And then eventually what happened over time, then we brought in the career coaching, and then we started working with people and companies that were downsizing. And so the portfolio got bigger and bigger and bigger. So we were doing career coaching, and then we started getting into personal brand. And then by 2008, when the economy crashed again, we were prepared. But we were prepared also, and that we learned along the way also, that the individuals did not want to go back to work. They want to become entrepreneurs. They want to become like us. They want to become coaches and consultants, right? And they didn't even know where to go from there, right? I mean, there wasn't anything out there. I mean, there was, but they needed a place to start, and that was us. So when they came to us, that's how we ended up developing the entrepreneur, what we're called the corporate to coach process. And then that's how we ended up developing the personal brand, which is now the professional brand. So that's how everything ended up happening over time, because we're just finding out what is trending, what is the market needing at that time. And we even evaluated our own personal brand, right? Our own brand for the company. Like, what can we offer these individuals that they flourish? And they were so grateful. I mean, some of them had started their own business. Some of them, had gone back to the corporate world and got higher pay than from what they had from before. It's just so yeah, just so fulfilling altogether, just to help out these individuals to get to that dream that they never thought they could get to.
Wow. Yeah, I just feel like I've held my breath the whole time you were talking. I need to just breathe here and take all of that in. It is all about helping other people. And I have found in 35 years of counseling now called coaching that so many people, they could be that go-to person like you were when you were helping with resumes. People recognized that and they came to you. And you see, here's where, I don't know, 90+% of people out there, even though people come to them for advice, they come to them to fix this, they come to them to learn about this or that or the other thing, and they don't see it thing that they can make to grow, that they can actually flourish if they would put together some way of training people in what it is that you're good at. Because most people that I've ever taught their destiny, well, that's easy for me. Okay, is it easy for 90 other people? Well, no, they don't actually get it. I have to explain it to them. How about if you explain that in a book? How about if you explain that in a course? How about if you explain that on a podcast or on a TV show or something like that? And that's, but it took all the way to 2016 to write the book. What were you born to do? Because I was mad. I was mad at society. I was mad at gurus who didn't tell you how to make it happen. I have a plan for people. You have a plan for people. It's a path. It's a roadmap. It's a blueprint. So, okay, now this is you've already answered a lot of this, but I want to know if there's any more I can drag out of you. The next question: how does your business fit into your dream? Is there more?
Of course, there's more, because now we developed the iconic brand mastery, right? So my passion, because it was just not only that I was helping out the individuals, and I'm to be honest with you, we're learning along the way also. Although we do a lot of research and development, but we're learning too along the way, and that's what I love about it, right? And we developed our experiences, and we developed our own assets so that we can deliver it to others. So then when we developed the iconic brand mastery, we wanted to really get out there. I mean, we were focusing on careers, and then if individuals were coming us, then we would help them entrepreneurially, right? But we wanted to get out there with the whole coaching circle. We wanted to get out there and like help the individuals, help other coaches, help solopreneurs, help heartfelt coaches, and just help everybody just understand, because we're not a marketing company. We're a personal brand company, right? We're a professional brand company. That's the difference. So we really take a look at the individual and what the individual can be as the iconic brand in the marketplace. And then that's the thing that people think that, it's just meant to be for lots of solopreneurs. Sure, it can, but it also helps out for individuals that are in their careers, because they have to develop their personal brand in their career or as a solopreneur over time. And so that's how we provide them with the steps all the way through. So that's how we go about helping out with the personal brand. And I hope I hadn't answered the question there, because I went off and I just kept going on. And
what I like especially is that you run the gamut from someone who is they've just moved up at Home Depot to some sort of a management level, but they really want that supervisory job. They really want that. They would love to be a store manager, or maybe manage their own store or something like that. And they might already be 30, 40, or 50 years old. And you're going to go after them, but you're also going to go after and dramatically help the person who needs to be teaching that Home Depot guy or gal how to move up, what they need to do, how they need to brand themselves, so that when they go to Home Depot corporate and they say, "Hey, here I am the best thing since sliced bread, And,
Yes.
and you have told them what to say, how to conduct themselves, and
Yes.
they know that they know that they know that this is
Yes.
what they want to do. But it's also the entrepreneur, the author, the coach like me.
Yes.
You're not going to be able to get rid of me, because I'm coming to you guys to help me further my brand. Yeah, because it's what you don't know what you don't know.
That's right.
And I don't know that there are some things out there as far as branding that I probably should know. And guess who knows them? Susie and Chris. Yay! Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. All right. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We've covered a lot in 15 minutes here. I want you to tell us a little bit about the title. I don't happen to have it here, but what is the title of this talk today? And please expand some more on that.
So it's become an iconic brand.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So becoming an iconic brand. So you have to take a look at. So we have what we call our dancing to the beat of your brand. That's our system. And so what we do is that we take each of them as a different acronym. And what I wanted to talk about today, but becoming an iconic brand, is the A and dancing, and that's assets. So that's why I was talking about understanding your assets, understanding yourself, understanding your audience. So you would have to take a look at what experiences have you had? What are the additional experiences or skill sets that others don't have that is going to make you stand out from others? Mm-hmm. So you really have to do a thorough skill set, taking a look at your Myers-Briggs, taking a look at even Carl Jung's 12 archetypes, just to understand of who you are and how you can serve your audience and how your audience will respond back to you, right? Mm-hmm. Because each archetype is different. So how do we respond to each archetype? Sure. So with the becoming an iconic brand, that's where we have to decide what is that one thing that is really going to make you stand out from others. What is that one thing? So we want to pinpoint what that is. And so we go through our assets, it goes through our attributes, our strengths, our skills. So we're able to focus on that. And we have worksheets that they can work on, and then we develop that. And so they can understand what they have that is different in the marketplace.
Wow. Okay. So that was the A. What are some of the other letters?
D for dream.
Hey, that's welcome, man. That's welcome. Okay. All right. Come on now. Come on. Don't hold back, Miss Susie. Don't hold back. Give us both barrels. Come on.
So the dream part is that what is, they're focusing on like how to achieve your dream. Like what is it your dream job? But also to take a look at what is it about that dream in particular that is, although you might have a dream, but you also have to take a look at what's trending at that time. How can you take that dream and what's new and what's trending?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. There are more letters in the word dancing.
So I have to go into my notes here.
Well, then just do that. Just relax. We're all just chilling here. We're hanging on what you have to say.
I know.
Yeah.
So
I'll just tell our audience right now, listen up because even if you have found the exact thing that you need to be doing, that your exact destiny, I guarantee you there are others in your sphere of influence. There are others in your family that need to know what they were born to do. That's me. And that branding of themselves and the training that's necessary to make that happen. Because, and you hear me on almost all of these interviews say, in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, where will you be? What are you going to be doing? Are you going to be doing the same things you're doing right now?
Yes.
And will that involve living in a sea of regret? Because that is not a good place to live. Back to you, Susie.
And I'll go back to what you just previously said too, because when, I'm talking to individuals and they have their their kids in university or college, and they're always asking, what kind of recommendations do you provide? Like, what do you think they should put on their resume? I said, well, first of all, are they getting involved in the university or the colleges? Are they belonging to any kind of committees or any kind of associations, right? Are they doing any type of volunteer work? That is so crucial on a resume, like the volunteer work in itself, because they don't have very many jobs, right, to put on a resume. But what is it that they did? Were they, president of a club or a treasurer of a club? Or so I always tell everybody, always take a look at, that and always get involved in something, even when you're at work. Even if you want to belong to the health and safety committee or any other committees that are out there, or if there's a project that they're asking someone to be a part of to provide feedback to maybe a new software they're implementing, be part of that. Be part of that. Provide your feedback because they want that. So always get yourself involved. And then another thing that to take a look at is to always write down your achievements. When I was talking about achievements, always write down your achievements and have a book of achievements. A daily achievement book, or because when you're going to be in an interview or when you're going to be promoting yourself, you want to make sure you have those achievements, those stories, those behavioral type questions. Have you ever, increased, or have you ever, been involved in a project, by implementing a certain software? So I always have everybody make sure you notate everything throughout your career, because it really makes a difference. Even if you get yourself a testimonial from a customer or from a manager or somebody, even from the president, keep it on hand, download it, print it. They say, what's on my email at work? I said, print it, have it with you, have it ready. And so then you can develop those assets into one area, and they can, I know, I'm so passionate about it. I could just keep talking about it just because I can provide so many insights.
This is an interview for you to be able to talk about what you want to talk about, what you think, what you think our audience, our viewership needs to hear. Wants and needs are totally different a lot of times. Yes. So what do they need to hear out of that learned brain of yours?
Wherever you go, wherever you are in the place of work, always try to go over and beyond. There's a lot of things that you can do to help the organization that they can, look at you and focus on you. Also, it's like, oh, Rick, yeah, you were part of that committee. You were part of that health and safety committee. Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was great feedback. Yeah, exactly. So always get noticed, always do extra. Always make sure that you're kind to everybody. Try to be the hero. If you find something or research something that might help out the company or might help out the person in your next cubicle, go ahead, help out. That's what we're all about. We're here to help out everyone else as well as ourselves. But at the same time, we're helping others. And that makes you feel better that you're able to help out. And please don't try to be the person at the water cooler gossip.
Oh, dear. Oh,
yeah. So try to be the one that is out there to help and to be part of something. It's always nice to be a part of something.
A lot of people that I have counseled and coached, especially at the mega church, they stay hidden. They just stay hidden, and then they come to work, they do what they do, and then they go home, and it's so sad. Now at 6'4", I've never been able to hide. No. In fact, everybody can see me over their cubicle wall. So, all righty. Well, that is great. Is there more? Is there more? Come on now. You've got plenty of time. More dancing, more branding, more wisdom.
Be kind on social media, please.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Oh, goodness.
Because you never know, you're representing yourself, but you're also representing your family. You're also representing your company. Even though it is a personal choice, I understand everyone has to have their own voice and their personal voice, and I understand that. But be kind. Be kind.
That's good. Well, I know that you have a gift for our viewers. Would you like to tell us about that?
So it is the Iconic Brand Mastery book, and it
What
is
you've been talking
strategically,
about? What you've been talking
yeah,
about?
no, not at all.
Okay.
So it's going to position you as the brand, as an iconic leader in your niche.
My goodness. Can you give us just a few little tidbits from that so that everybody can get all excited about getting that? Now that's the freebie, okay? Now, okay, I want to remind you, viewers, audience, that you're watching Miss Susie here one time. If you want to get back on and listen to her again, have somebody else listen to her, you need to do the VIP upgrade. If you've watched several of these interviews, it's like, oh, he's going to talk about that again. But it's important. It's important. You get all the freebies. You get to watch and listen to Susie, to her husband Chris. You get to watch all of the speakers. There are a bunch of them, but you also get the VIP gifts, and there are several of those that are worth thousands and thousands of dollars. So don't pass up the VIP upgrade. All right, young lady. I want to ask you this question. I try to ask this of everybody, and you have plenty of time to talk about this. When it comes to living your best life, Susie Smith, what advice do you have for our viewers? What further advice do you have for our viewers? Your best life.
You never know who you're going to meet one day, and you're never going to know how that person's going to feel that day. You might help them today, you might help them tomorrow, you might even see them 20 years later. But you want to be the individual that is the one that they say, oh, I remember that person. Rick, he helped me out. Oh, I remember that person. Rick, he was there for me. Oh, that guy Rick at work. Oh my gosh, he was a ham. So I always look at it this way. You never know who you're going to see, hear, or in 5, 10, 20 years. And you never know how you're going to make that person feel for that day. Always trying to make somebody feel good for that day. I mean, I have so many stories where, I go home crying from work or something, right? And we've all had that story. And then I just decided just one day, I just have to be nice to people, right? Just be kind to people in from work, and just, serving each other and helping each other. So that's how I look at it.
All right. Let's say that someone is to the point in their destiny that they're really depressed. They just don't know how to go about what to do, how to go about a career change. They're pulling their hair out. Obviously, I've done that. And they don't know exactly what to do or where to go. And they get pointed at you and Chris. What do you tell them? What do you say as far as this will probably take, or this could take X number of weeks, months, or even years for all of this to come about? And once you've got them calmed down, and I'm serious about this, non-suicidal. Once you've got them calmed down and to the point where they will listen to you, where do you tell them that they need to start with you?
What we do to start with them, because the one thing that individuals in the marketplace, or they're looking at their career, the one thing that I think that is the most difficult is when they look at a blank screen and trying to figure out what they should put on their resume. And so what happens, we are all frustrated. Nobody likes to write their resume. I mean, there's some that do, and then they do a wonderful job. But others just look at a blank screen and they don't even know where to begin. They'll just say, okay, sure, I scanned the products and I put them on the shelves, or I filed away the paperwork, or I designed an engine. Okay, and then that's all they can write down there. What we have them to do is we have them, and this is what I do in like an intake session. I really delve into it. I'll go into, okay, you get your cup of coffee in the morning, and then what do you do, right? And then we go from section to section to section to section. And then I will say to them, are you kidding me? You did that? And they go, yeah, that's part of my job. I'm thinking, no, it's not. That's an achievement. That is something that somebody in your position doesn't do. You went and did something that was amazing. And so that's what we need for individuals like that, is to understand they have done something amazing, and for them to figure that out. Our help through our paperwork, through our talks and our coaching, for them to understand, yeah, you did great. And by the time we're finished with that resume, they said, this isn't me. I go, of course it is. And they become so confident because they know that's who they really are. But we all need that encouragement. We all need that encouragement saying, yeah, way to go, great job, right? But it's more than that. We want to say, no, that was amazing. Wow. You know, we want to bring out the wow factor for them, right? We want them to know that that is a really cool thing that you did at work. You did what? You implemented what? Wow. So that's what we like to do, and help them out and understand that.
Well, I base everything I teach on 3 columns: relationships and communication and encouragement. Everything else stems from those 3. And here's a premise that I'm going to throw out that I don't think I've said on these interviews, is that most people, once they're either out of college and starting to work, or they're out of high school and starting to work, or out of college and starting to work, very rarely do they get much encouragement. Instead, it's, this is your job, do it. And if you don't do it well, or if you don't do it by this deadline, or if blah, 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 even though it gives you ulcers and you age fast and you hate it, this is what needs to be done. And
Right.
people don't care. People after age 27, very few people ever read a book. I mean, it's when you encourage like you do, you're bringing out to you, you're bringing out the obvious in this branding thing. I guarantee you that even people who think they know what branding is, they probably don't. They probably don't. And when you're done with them, you know, they got that brand on them. Yeah. And it's for life. And I would think, stemming from the encouragement would come confidence.
Yes.
And I am so glad. I'll tell our viewers, we hit a lot of potholes and we hit a lot of roadblocks just getting this interview to happen. And this is actually my last day for doing interviews, and yay, here's Susie. But can you imagine if we had done this Achieve Your Dream Summit without the encouraging heart, without the encouraging mind, without the tools? It's not just Susie and Chris saying, you can do it. No. It's yeah, you can do it. In fact, we're going to show you exactly how. And you did that. You've done that. Oh, that's nothing. Oh no, that's something. Now, would their boss say that? Maybe not. Would their supervisor say that? Would their management say that? Probably not. Probably not. But if you've gotten to that point of frustration, and this is why when I talk to people, they've come to a crossroads, or they're in some sort of transition, and that's the time when you need to hear from me, when you need to hear from Susie, when you need to hear from her husband Chris. Now, if you haven't seen his interview, you gotta see it. It's a dandy. He's a great guy, laid back, and just this brain, it's just like, I think it's swelled out to here. It's just so chock full there, but he's got good things to say. Oh my goodness. We have done exceedingly well here, young lady. Any last thoughts, final thoughts, as journalists would say?
You are all amazing. and you don't even know it. And some of you do
Me
know
too.
it. You are great. You are all awesome. And all you have to do is just find that asset that you have to bring out there in the marketplace or into your career, just like Rick did. Coach Rick.
Yep. Took me a long time to get to this point. A lot of frustration and yes, all that stuff. So, all right. Well, I want to remind you one more time, VIP upgrade. It's worth every last plug nickel. Okay, do that. I'm going to say a heartfelt thank you to Susie for finally getting on this speaker interview for the Achieve Your Dream Summit. So now it's on to the next video, and we'll see you there. Bye for now. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Achieve Your Dream Summit. I'm your host, Coach Rick Stewart. And I'll tell you, I am having so much fun with these incredible people, gifted people, experienced people pouring out their hearts for you, so that you can get to know them and their subjects, and your life can be changed through listening to and following through on a lot of these interviews. So without further ado, I've got a great one for you right now. This guy is something else. He goes by Dr. Z. His name is Dr. Zainul Khan, and he's a medical doctor with more than 10 years of experience as a sports physician. Dr. Z has transferred his years of experience and training working with high-performance athletes and teams to managing diabetes and obesity. Using the techniques favored by athletes, he has built courses to help people with diabetes achieve blood sugar control with little to no medication. That's amazing. Showing them how to live fulfilling lives. All right, now we're gonna get to him right now. You all know that the theme here is Achieve Your Dream. And what's near and dear to my heart is strategy for destiny. What were you born to do? So I'm going to hit Dr. Z here with that very question. Dr. Z, what were you born to do?
Well, Rick, I started off my life always wanting to to be of help to anyone. When I was young, I wanted to be a veterinarian because I loved helping animals. But as I grew older and got into the profession and got into university and then into school, I actually transitioned into medicine since I got accepted to medical school. And from that dream, I was able to start helping people to become healthier, right? And that is what I was born to do, to help people to, as you said here, achieve their dreams, right? And one of the ways to achieve your dreams is through good health. I don't believe that anybody can enjoy their lives to their fullest unless you're healthy. So all the money you're making, all the great work you're doing in your communities and with your family, unless you don't have good health, you really can't achieve that. So that's why, and in my bio, you mentioned how I transferred from working with athletes to doing this for everyday people, right? And that's one of the things that I'm aiming for. How to help people to achieve health, especially diabetics and people who are overweight, to achieve their healthiest weight and to take control of their diabetes.
Wow, that is a worthy goal, young man. So okay, so that's what you believe you were born to do. What did you do to get there? You went to medical school. Can you expand on that a little more?
Yes. Well, so my journey began in a medical school, and from there I was able to go to sorry, my daughter is screaming in the background.
That's all right. No problem.
So my journey started in medical school, where when I went in, I really started off wanting to help people. But the problem with medical school is that because it's so much work and there's so much to do, that many of us as doctors lose that empathy to help people. So we all started with this amazing goal. So leaving medical school, we now learn to relearn that empathy. So over the last 15 years of my career, I worked in the emergency department, working with people who are struggling.
Don't worry about it.
My daughter is coming to join us in a moment. She's coming to join. Come,
Oh,
say hello
boy.
to everyone.
Yes.
And we have another interviewer. So in medical school, from there I went into emergency medicine, and she's gone again.
Oh, okay. She's a cutie.
Yes. So from there, after working for 15 years as an emergency physician, during that time, I started working with national teams in Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean where I live. And working with those national teams, I started seeing a lot of patterns developing. And working with these athletes, I saw what their nutrition was like. I saw what their exercise routines were like. And I saw what a high performance athlete has to do to maintain his performance, right? And so I was always thinking, and a few years ago, one of my good friends comes to me and says, "Hey, I'm diabetic. I'm totally out of control. My sugar is through the roof every day. My blood pressure is spiking all the time. I feel at the age of 35 that I might be killing myself." Right?
Wow.
And I was like, well, come, let's work together. And this happened about 5 to 7 years ago. And we started working together. And over the period of 6 months, we were able to lower his HbA1c, which is a gauge of how well you're doing as a diabetic, from 11.9 to down to 6.5, which was phenomenal. Right. And from there, his blood pressure became under control. He started managing stress better. And if you don't know, stress causes cortisol increases, which causes spikes in blood sugar. So by doing all those things, we were able to really get him into a good state of mind. And from that, working with him, I went, you know what? I can do better. I can do all of this for my friend. Why don't I start doing it with everyone else, with people who are diabetic? And that's where the whole thought of what I call myself the Dr. Fit Health came about. And I started really researching and taking a deep dive into diabetes and how we manage it. Developing, and during that time I was also studying my postgraduate training in sports medicine. And from that postgraduate training, I realized in the sports medicine world that there is a really good treatment for diabetes that does not include medication. And we in the sports medicine world has seen that using exercise and dietary changes, managing stress and sleep, you can actually take complete control of your diabetes. You can take complete control of your weight journey and getting to your healthiest weight, and actually decrease the amount of medication you're taking and potentially send your diabetes into remission. No medication has yet, to this date, been able to say that they can do that. Right? To the point that one of my colleagues had put a number that she says there's a 30% chance using lifestyle changes that you can convert your diabetes into remission. Whereas if you're using medication, there's a 0.1% chance you may go into remission. And so lifestyle changes is the key and is the secret. That is not much of a secret because everybody knows this, that helps people to get there. But here's the challenge with diabetes. Diabetes itself is not necessarily a difficult disease to treat, but it can be overwhelming. There's lots of information out there, and there's lots of conflicting information. And imagine being a person who hasn't done the 8 years of studying I did, who hasn't done the training with multiple postgraduate degrees and everything that I did, trying to figure out this information. And for me, learning about this stuff was actually confusing to me. Like, for instance, one of the biggest ones we talk about is the edible egg. How much vilification has the egg gone through? It went from not eating the egg yolk to not eating the whole egg to then eating the white. And now they're saying, oh, no, you can eat the whole egg because, yeah, it's not a problem. Look how that has changed. And the same thing occurs when you talk about things like carbohydrates, right? And people understanding what are simple and complex carbohydrates and how do you incorporate that into your daily life, right? So when we talk about, people talk about sugars and they talk about carbohydrates, and then you get confused. What is carbohydrates? The simple carbohydrates are the ones you use every day. It's your sugars, it's your regular table sugar, it's your regular potatoes, your pastas, your flour. Those are all simple carbohydrates. When you get into complex carbohydrates, that's where we're talking about fruits and vegetables. Those carbohydrates are so complex that we can't digest them. right? And this is what I go through with my, and I don't call them my clients, I don't call them my patients, I call them my students, because mine is a classroom. You learn all the things you need to do on how to get to where you need to get your diabetes under control. And if you're overweight, which if most people don't realize it, that makes you pre-diabetic. And this is something we're starting to see coming up in the literature, where they're now calling it diabesity. Diabetes and obesity go hand in hand. They're two sides of the same coin, right? So if you're overweight and you're obese, your risk of developing diabetes increases by 80% and over. It's the number one risk factor. So what does that make you? Pre-diabetic. You may not be there yet, but you're gonna be there in the next 5 to 10 years. So how do you reverse all of that? And I always tell people, you don't become overweight overnight. You become overweight over months, years. So why do you expect that you will go back to being in your previous healthy weight just overnight, right? So you have to give yourself time to adjust to this new type of lifestyle. And in order to do that, it all comes down to your consistency. So you start with me, and that's what I show people. Take your time. We can do this together. I will give you the support. I will give you the encouragement. I will give you the accountability. So that's my journey to getting to where I've developed Dr. Fit and getting people and reaching out to diabetics and people who are overweight and obese to help them to really start taking control of their lives.
Wow, what a worthy quest. My goodness, I've taken some notes here. Diabesity. What a word. I'm going to borrow that from you, and I probably will forget to give you credit.
That's all right. It's not my word. It's the word in medicine now. Is the new word they've put in, where they've linked it to. I know we've got a term for it, which is kind of, for me, is very sad that we can create a term for something that should never have happened.
Right. Well, I need to follow your guidelines and possibly become a student. I'm not overweight. I'm 6'4" and I'm about 200 pounds. So I'm not big and fat, but at my age, I have to be more careful. And
yes,
so does my wife of 44 years. All righty. Well, my next question that I'd love to ask, and I think you pretty much answered this, but how does your business fit into your dream? How does Dr. Fit fit into your dream?
My business fits into my dream because I now get to help people and help people in a way that I know is very effective. And this is where I've taken the love of what I do and I've turned it into my business. And I've created courses like Healthy Weight Recipe. And I'm working on creating more courses that fits into me being able to help people. So like, for instance, next year, my plan is to create 10 new courses working on injuries. Those things like shoulder injuries and the tennis elbow. And like if you have back pain and neck pain, how do you manage those things? I want to create courses on all of those, showing people how over a period of 4 to 6 weeks, you can actually start to fix your injuries. So not only because one of the things about stress is injuries are stress related, like back pain. 50% of the cause of back pain is actually mental, right? And if you can fix the mental, you can usually get rid of your back pain. So many times when I have patients come into my clinic and they're saying I have back pain, a lot of conversation is not actually focused on the back pain, but what's going on in your life? What are you so stressed out about? And then we start working on those stresses. As soon as we remove those, the pain dissipates. It becomes far less. So how does my business fit into my dream? I am using my passion and the thing I love to do to really help people. And in that, I'm able to not only, well, I get to make money off of it, yes, but my biggest goal is I get to help people. And by doing this now, it's not going to work for me anymore. It is doing my hobby. So I get to do this every day.
That is amazing, and your sincerity comes through this interview. It's so good. I'm excited. I'm even excited, and sometimes at my age, I get a little down, like, oh my gosh, I'm so old. But I don't need to feel that way. And by the way, sometime we need to have a discussion about a lot of aches and pains being there because of unforgiveness, because of anger toward other people. I have for over 35 years counseled with people who they would come into my office and they would be in awful pain. My first question was, who are you mad at? And try to get them to and had great success in getting people to forgive and forgive themselves and forgive other people. And lo and behold, just what you said, the pain goes away. Okay. Well, anyway, this
Yeah,
is your interview. Sorry for
yeah.
you up there. I just wanted to throw that in there. All righty. Your title for this summit. We've got lots of time for you to talk about this. What is your title for this summit?
It's called the diabetes pandemic. Why did I choose that title? Right now, so this last 2 years, we've heard the word pandemic all over the place. Is talking about this disease that's floating around and how it's spreading. And now we have an understanding of what the word pandemic is. And in medicine, we knew what pandemic was, but I think the world didn't know quite what the impact of a pandemic is. So here's a statistic for you. There are 440 million diabetics in the world, right? With our part of the world having some of the highest rates in the world of diabetics in our own countries, right? And when to add another statistic to that, more than half the world's population are overweight or obese, right? So we're going down a really terrible road. And what that means is that we've created a pandemic in the world that is not infective. So you can't walk next to a diabetic and become diabetic, but because you're overweight, you're putting yourself at risk for it. So in my ruling is it is a pandemic and is one that's spreading and is continuing to spread to the point that we know if this keeps up, that we will break the bank when it comes to this managing diabetes alone. And we haven't even looked at the other common ailments that come around from being overweight and obese, which is hypertension, is high cholesterol, hypercholesterolemia. We have heart disease, all of these things. You have strokes, you have pulmonary embolus, which is where you get a clot in the lungs. All those things are risks. And we're not even talking about the joints and the bone problems you have from carrying around all that weight, right? So it is a real problem in the world that is constantly growing, and it's going to be an even bigger problem than we've seen in the last 2 years. Now, this pandemic has been growing for the last 10 years, and it will continue to expand if we don't do something about it now. So much like the environment, we now have to look at our own internal environments and really start to say, what are we going to do to change our lives? What do we need to do to step up and say, hey, I want to make that change? And this is where my course comes in, which is called Healthy Weight Recipe, right? Where I go through an entire change. Like when you said that you come in, when they come in, your clients came into your office, you ask them, what are you mad at? The same thing happens here, but just seeing what you're mad at, I'm sure it was just one session that a person came to that conclusion.
No.
It takes more. Exactly.
Yes.
So you can't change overnight. And a problem I find with a lot of the workout programs and all the diet fads that they have out there is that they promise dreams to people, but they don't actually, but a person has to stick with it. And many people struggle with just keeping up with things. So what if you change it one step at a time? Instead of rushing into everything, you start with one thing every week, and then you work your way through it, right? That's what my course does. It really takes you in 6 weeks through one step at a time. And in my course, I only take away one thing, and that's carbohydrates, right? Simple sugars, not even all carbohydrates. I just take away simple sugars. And I show you how you can continue to enjoy all those great things you like to eat. So if you like having a donut, you're allowed to have a donut, right? But don't have a donut every day. right? If you like having some pizza, you don't have to have pizza every day. So like in my family, pizza is a treat for us. We have pizza probably twice a month. And my daughters love it. They look forward to it so much that they will go through and eat out almost the entire pie. And they're 5 and 2 years old, right? But because it's such a novelty, it becomes an amazing experience for them. And that's what you do. You transform all those things you love into great experiences. Like I put it to this, when you go to Disney World, you don't go to Disney World every week. You go once every few years, once maybe every 2 to 5 years. Sometimes not even every 10 years, you probably go to Disney World. What is so amazing about Disney World is that you get to see it and it becomes a treat to just show up at Disney World and see it every 10 years and see what changes have occurred.
Yes.
Same thing. And that's how we need to treat our lives, the same way, that not rushing into it. Take your time. We will get there.
Woo! That's a lot to digest, pun intended. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now do this for me and for a lot of our audience. This is new. I didn't prep you on this one, but I live in Nashville, Tennessee. Okay, music capital of the world, Music City, USA, and we are considered part of the South, very much north, but part of the South. The eating habits here, probably all capital letters, atrocious. And we see so many obese children, and nobody comments. You know, they don't comment. That's sort of a hush hush, don't say anything. But somebody is walking around the mall or coming to church or going to your place of business, and they've got 3 kids of different ages who are twice the size they should be. And all we can do is say, oh, aren't they cute? That's all we can do. We can't say your kid could be a diabetic or already is because of your eating habits. You can't say those things. Those are socially unacceptable. What would you say to me about the eating habits of people in the South, and what could be changed without condemning the entire southern part of the United States?
Well, so the history of me, I went to school in Florida. I did my first degree in Florida, and I have been to Tennessee a couple of times, actually. And my sister actually lives in Indiana, and she used to live in Kentucky. So I have been in the South, and I have seen the issues that arise there. One of the things I would say is simply this. For parents, you don't have to, in adults, there's no sign to show that there's diabetes, right? So I'll start off with this. In adults, there's no sign. There isn't a sign that goes in your head to say, I'm diabetic. Mm-hmm. You don't know until you go to your doctor and he says, oh my gosh, your sugar's through the roof, right? But in kids, there is a sign. And it's a dark mark that occurs around their neck. It's called acanthosis nigricans, right? And sorry, I said that kind of fast. Acanthosis nigricans.
Okay.
Right. Now it's a darkening around the back of the neck, or around the neck as a whole. Now that, if you see your kids has that, go to your doctor, right? Nobody has to tell you anything. Just go. If you're parents and you have an overweight child, go to your doctor if you're seeing that. What that is indicating is your child is pre-diabetic, right? And in sometime in the next few years will develop diabetes. Now, I can't imagine what it would be like to be an 18-year-old and you're getting your first diagnosis of diabetes. I had a young man in my department several years ago who was 25 years old and had a heart attack. And the only reason he had a heart attack was because he was massively overweight, right? And he comes in, and now at 25, he has triple vessel disease, right? That's what happens. That's what they found out after he did his angiogram. Right, so he's 25 years old and he's just cut his life short by almost 20 years. Why? Just because of being overweight. But in your kids, if you see their kid is overweight, go to your doctor. There is methods. And here's the problem here's the issue with children being overweight. It's a more difficult disease to treat because the children are not going to do what you want them to do. They often don't cooperate as well, right? So my thing is, to all parents out there, There are ways. There's tons of, and there's lots of research coming out of how to manage obesity in children. And one of the best ways to do it is to engage with the child, right? Talk to them. Go for a walk with them. There is something called the Daily Mile. It was started in Scotland in the UK. It was started by a bunch of teachers, actually. They got fed up of seeing their kids in school being overweight and not exercising. So what did they do? They said, let's go for a walk. And they took them into the yard, and for once every day, they would walk around the school field. Don't have to change clothes, didn't have to get any fancy shoes. They just let the kids go crazy, right? They walk, they run, they race each other, they gossip, they talk, whatever they wanted to do, they skipped, and the teachers went out and joined them. And interestingly, what they found, and this is a huge thing now. It's now, I think, it's 3.9 million children are doing it, and it's in 84 countries. Right? This is how big it has gotten. It's actually a big website, right? And they found that the concentration of the children went up. So they were able to study better. They found that the kids themselves started eating healthier because they were getting fitter. They found that the kids themselves started to, they noticed that they wanted to walk more. They wanted to exercise more. The kids themselves started going to their parents and saying, Mom, Dad, let's not buy so much of this and let's get something else. Why? And by doing that, just that engagement, the children got involved and started taking care of their own health, right? And it was a fascinating turnaround. And this started happening in Scotland. Now it's spread, as I said, to 84 countries, and 3.9 million children are doing it. So it's not that hard to do. Parents, talk to your kids. Say, let's go for a walk. Let's do it as a family. Family time is one of the most important time in your life. And here's something. 80% of the time you spend with your kids is going to be in the first 18 years of their lives. After they leave home and they start working, you're not going to see them as often. Why? Because they have their own lives. So in that 80%, wouldn't it be awesome to just go out every evening for a walk with your kids and spend that half an hour, 45 minutes, just chatting? Suddenly, the relationships blossoms, it blooms, and it makes an amazing turnaround in your own home. So it's very simple. I don't even have to condemn anybody or say, oh no, the South is, no, it's a simple thing. If your kids are overweight, then more likely you are too. And maybe that change should come from all of you.
You know, I told my business coach, Cindy J, that I didn't want to just ask questions in these interviews, summit interviews. I wanted to ask the right questions. Well, I think I just did. I'm going to pat myself on the back there because that hit a nerve. Yeah, that was an incredible explanation. And I'll just bet you that there are going to be hundreds of people who are going to hear you say that, and they're going to get going. They're going to get up and start walking. I have noticed throughout my life that the really obese one or two people in the room, no matter where you are, other people are getting up and doing things for them because it's difficult for them to get up and walk around. And they're actually the ones who desperately need to get up and walk around.
And I always say it takes 5 minutes a day. One of the things I recommend is after every meal, go for a walk. So you don't have to do it for more than 10 minutes. You go for a walk for 10 minutes and voila. And then by the end of the day, if you eat 3 meals a day, you've just walked 30 minutes. All of a sudden you're doing 30 minutes of exercise, right? As simple as that. And then from that 30 minutes exercise, like one of my students, he actually came into my program once and said, hey, Doc, do you mind if I work out even more? And I go, yeah, go ahead. He said, because I'll be sitting on the couch and I just feel like I need to do some push-ups or I need to do some jumping jacks. He's like, I don't feel, and that's the thing. Once you start moving, your body wants more of it. And you actually start feeling more concentrated. You actually start feeling more energetic. Your sex life improves. It's amazing the impact just exercising alone has on you.
Wow. Well, you are a fountain of information. Just amazing. Let me see now. You're hitting on all cylinders here. Oh! I know that you have a wonderful gift. You have a freebie for our viewers, and a little bird told me that perhaps you have a premium gift also. Can you tell us about your freebie?
Okay, the freebie It's my ebook. It's called The Walk to Freedom, Achieving Diabetes Control in 4 Weeks. Right? It goes through what diabetes is, and it goes through a little bit about what things you can do, and then it goes through the 4 weeks of steps you can take to really get to the next stage of getting your diabetes under control. And the book is written out of my course, so it's basically my course you're getting in my book, right? And I'm giving this away because I really want you to get started. But if you're struggling with it, you can reach out to me. My email is in the book, and you can reach out to me, and I can help you along. And to upgrade it to the next level, as you said, I do have my course, and for everyone who wants it, I'm offering it at 50% discount. The course is well, you'll have the link to the course as you go in there, and you will get the code that allows you to get that 50% discount. And the course is called Healthy Weight Recipe. Getting to your healthiest weight without having to give up your favorite foods.
Healthy weight recipe. We got to get that down. All right. Wow. So all of you out there, if you want to get healthier or help somebody get healthier, this is a great time to upgrade to VIP status. You always want to do that, and have access to Dr. Z. And also to his ebook and to 50% off on the course. That sounds amazing. I've got some friends who, as you say, are going to become your students. I know they will, and it's going to be good. So, all
awesome.
right, let me. Here's the closing question. This is near and dear to my heart with Achieve Your Dream, and that is, Dr. Z, when it comes to living your best life, what advice do you have for our viewers, for our audience? Your best life.
The power of one. I say do one thing every day, one new thing or one thing to make your life healthier, right? And that one thing could be as simple as going for a walk. One additional thing. So every day, add one more thing, and you'll see over time. So even if it starts, that one thing could be one push-up, one deep breath, yes, one word of gratefulness, one of anything, and you will see the change. And I tell you, in 365 days in the year, that one thing becomes 365 one things. So if you do one thing every day, you'll get there.
If I do 365 of those, I may only have time for one push-up. Well, I'll tell you this. Yeah, I can do a lot more than one push-up, even at my tender age here. But wow. Anything else you wish to share? This has been just so enlightening. Really has. So, and you obviously know what you're talking about, and you're very willing to help people. Oh, I have a very important question. I see your Star Wars shirt. Okay. We are definitely Star Wars Mandalorian fans. And do you think that Baby Yoda needs to go on a diet?
I think Baby Yoda doesn't have any problems whatsoever because he's still a baby.
He's still a baby.
He has a long way to go. Plus, he has the power of the Force. If he needs to lose weight, he can lose it.
You can't tell with whatever that big sweater that he has on. You can't tell if he has any shape at all. Yeah, but he can move things around. So he can probably move his weight around too.
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, I have asked you this before, and I'll ask you one more time, and then we'll let you go. But any parting words? Any parting words of wisdom? That doing one thing each day is phenomenal. We can stop there if you want to.
No, I would actually say one parting word of wisdom is don't beat yourself up. If you're overweight, don't beat yourself up. If you're struggling with your diabetes, don't beat yourself up. Instead of doing that, reach out. There's lots of information out there. There's lots of people willing to help. I'm not the only one. Or come find me and I will sit down and have a conversation with you. I have no problems with it. But don't feel like you're alone in this, and don't beat yourself up for where you are. We want to help you. We all do. In the medical profession, we're always willing to help.
All right. Your course, Healthy Weight Recipe. What is the going price on that? And then the 50% off. So what is the current price on that course?
Right now, it's being offered for $295.
Okay.
Right, and yeah, and the 50% off is obviously $150, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I'm not going to do the math, but all right, I don't math. Okay. Wow. All right. Well, for all of you out there, be sure. I tell you every time, be sure to upgrade to VIP. It doesn't cost you much of anything to do that. And it's so vital to be able to not just listen to Dr. Z, but to listen to all the other speakers and be able to have access to them at any time and anywhere on any device. So do yourself a favor, upgrade and get in touch with this man. Get in touch with this man, Dr. Fit Health. That's a great moniker there. I really appreciate it. And so until the next interview, here's signing off on the Achieve Your Dream Summit interview with Dr. Z.
And thank you for having me, Rick. Coach Rick.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Achieve Your Dream Summit. Yeah, we got another great speaker. You are going to absolutely love Miss Jill. So sit back, get some coffee, get something to sip on, and then listen to this lady. And she's got a lot to say and a lot to give. So without further ado, Jill Lublin is a 4-time best-selling author, international speaker, and master publicity expert. She helps authors get book deals and teaches a virtual publicity crash course. Her books include Guerrilla Publicity and The Profit of Kindness, love that title, which went #1 in 4 categories. So, as you who have been watching these interviews know, I like to ask that question. I'm going to ask Miss Jill, and then she's going to take it away. Question is, Miss Jill, what were you born to do?
I love the question, and I'm delighted to be here. So thank you. You know, I think I was born to do exactly what I'm doing. Isn't that amazing? To love what you do and do what I love. I'm thrilled about it. What does that mean? Help promote and get messengers out there, as I like to think of the people I work with in all kinds of industries. I love that. And then recently, I tell you that my message has been to spread more kindness. And that's really come to me more in this past few years. But I've been doing the publicity game for quite a while and loving it, I might add. And I think I was born to do this. I'm kind of born this way, as Lady Gaga says.
All right. And what did you do to get to where you are now?
You know, I went in a few circles, like I think most people do, a bit of chasing my tail, some failing. But here's the thing. I ended up actually working in the music business for publicity, loved it, thought, well, this, you know, is where I belong. And it was fun for me. And I stayed in the music business doing promotion and publicity for several independent record labels. Oh. And I loved it. And then I actually started my own PR agency. And of course, there I had to expand who I was working with. And I've expanded to entrepreneurs and coaches and consultants, speakers and authors, and, you know, all kinds of what I might call service providers. And I'm having a great time doing that.
My goodness. Well, okay, then takes us to our third question. How does your business fit into your dream?
You know, my dream is really to not only spread kindness, but really to help others get their message into the world, because I really believe as all of us get your message into the world and do the work that you're meant to do and love what you do. Imagine the attitude, the general elation of most people coming to work, the feeling of doing good, you know, in whatever you're doing. Mm-hmm. So that's really, for me, that's the big exclamation point.
Well, and you know that my course, Strategy for Destiny, what were you born to do? That is my heart. And the older I've gotten and the more I've seen people living in regret and not putting out the effort because they didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to do. And with your guerrilla publicity, you can help them on the business end. I can help them just to know more about themselves. And this Achieve Your Dream Summit is exactly all about that. So I understand you have something like a free gift for our people.
I do, of
Well, would you
course. So
please tell us about that?
absolutely. You know, the thing about publicity is you got to know how to do it in the right order. So I have an action guide that I created that's get it done, roll up our sleeves and help you through the templates to get your publicity done right. And then an invitation to my wonderful publicity masterclass, interactive and live with me. So that is your wonderful gift. And publicity is priceless. The ability to bring those prospects in and clients is going to help you escalate your business and frankly get the clients that you deserve.
All right. And you also have a premium gift for our VIP upgraders.
Oh, yes. It's actually an invitation to my publicity course, where we actually do the systems needed and give you the templates that the PR people that you want to reach are going to need. So you're going to be right in my publicity course with me.
Okay. Well, what would you like to share? Because we got a bunch of time here. What would you like to share as far as, because you know that this is all about personal development, health, business, and relationships. What can you in all of your in everything that you've done and your experiences, what can you contribute to people who are not even close or maybe starting out?
So here's what I've noticed. And, you know, listen, the truth is sometimes people get a little shy about getting out there or like, oh, I'm not ready. Please, if you're in business, you are ready. And so I just want to address, because some people might feel like, ooh, imposter syndrome, or I don't know, am I good enough to be on media? And I'm going to say right here, right now, you are good enough. Now, part of this is knowing what your message is. And I feel, Rick, that, you know, when you know what your message is, the wonderful news is that you can then take that out and replicate it. The nice thing is that your confidence goes way up. That's what I've noticed, is that people with a great message that are clear and that you're able to rinse and repeat. And, you know, honestly, you can, shall we say, script your message. You can. It's good. It's okay. I promise.
Mm-hmm.
And so don't feel bad about that. Know that that's actually important, because media, they need you to be ready to, you know, bat it out as soon as you come in. You've got to speak clearly and be authentic and resonant to your message. And so I know sometimes people are worried about, well, I don't know, am I ready for it? Well, yeah, you're ready for it with the right words in the right order. And that's maybe the next part of what to take a step with. Yes. So I think taking steps, baby steps for some of you will be perfect. Some of you will be ready to jump in the pond and swim to your nearest media outlet and literally, you know, pick up the phone and pitch them or pitch them via email. Great. But here's the thing. If you choose to do nothing, then nothing happens.
Right.
You know, P.T. Barnum said, you know, the man who created the circus, he said it best, and that is, a terrible thing happens without publicity. Nothing.
Yeah.
Right. So I want to give you, shall we say, all some hope that with even just an hour a week of visibility building activities, how much more in people's circle and consciousness and understanding you will be. And then what happens, I like to call this the I've heard of you somewhere syndrome. Wow, I keep seeing Coach Rick's name in different places, and that makes a huge difference. And what happens is that's driving people to you to do more.
Yes, yes. Okay, now you're obvious. It's obvious that you're doing what you were born to do. That's a given. All right. Where what were the roadblocks? Let me ask you that. What was maybe a roadblock in the beginning that you hit, or maybe two or three roadblocks? And okay, let me rephrase that. What are some roadblocks? But also, when do people in their journey? When do people need to come to you? When they get to this plateau or whatever, when do they need to come to you typically?
How about right now? Because what are we waiting for? I mean, yes, I've got a lot of years of experience, but here's the truth. I work with people at all different levels, beginners, 10 years into their business. You know, someone was recently 80 who I've worked with, super exciting. What a blessing and honor. I consider that, to a 24-year-old who was just starting her digital marketing agency. So I'm very used to a wide variety. I actually like it. I am a generalist versus, well, my specialty is publicity, but I am a generalist, meaning I can go among many industries and many levels of experience and meet people where you are right now. So here's the thing, wherever you are right now, perfect. I mean, let's take that next step and find out what's the right next step. I even got a little foot. See the foot? You can take the right next step. What's right for you next? Yes. And for some of you, it may be getting into your local business journal. For some of you, it might be clarifying the message, might be writing some articles, all of which are very good things to do strategically. Mm-hmm. So I like to assess where somebody is at, but I will tell you, without taking a next step, you really stand the chance of suffering the consequence of people not being able to find you. And I'll tell you the other truth about media that's super great, that I think most people almost take for granted, is it gives you a third-party authority that says that you're good. Right? And come on, let's face it, when you see people on TV and radio, watch them on podcasts, you're interviewing me as an expert, automatically your status is elevated. Mm-hmm. And automatically people trust you more.
Yes. I've noticed when I mentioned to people that Dave Ramsey is endorsing my course, that's sometimes, oh wow, that's cool. Yeah, it does. It definitely does help. So let me ask you this. This is what I'm doing. I'm hanging my hat on getting to know people like you in JV Insider Circle, in a joint venture Insider Circle. What has been your experience with doing summits and giveaways and those sorts of collaborations? Is that something that people can dive into, or do they need to be at a certain level before they attack a summit or a getaway? I'll let you talk now.
So I don't think you necessarily have to be at a certain level. I mean, listen, there are people with 500 people on a list, and yet they're incredibly responsive and will do everything you tell them to do. What I want you to do is have that kind of visibility, credibility, ability to reach people and multiply your message, which is what publicity does, which is what summits do, which is what being interviewed does, right? And so as soon as you're interviewed and you're able to reach more people, I'm a big believer in that. I think it's really important. I'm so glad you're doing summits to, reach more people and multiply your leads and referrals. Because let's face it, our businesses will survive and thrive through collaboration, connecting with others. This is a time in the marketplace where, I think competition's a dead conversation. Let's have co-opetition, maybe. Find your competitors. By the way, I get great referrals from people in PR. And if somebody wants to spend $5,000 a month and more, with PR, I have good people I trust that I can send them to PR agencies that charge that kind of fee. And I know they're going to be well served. And I'm happy to do it. So I think it's really important that you have people in your front pocket that you know you can trust, that are in your industry, that maybe once you might have even considered competitors, but that you can find ways to work together, to collaborate. And this is the kind of society I think we are in now and headed for even more.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I am so thrilled to be a part of JVIC and to be able to call on you, where you are now. You're way ahead of me. Now, yes, I have over 35 years of experience in counseling and coaching, but this JV stuff, and the course are pretty new. So again, I thank you for allowing me to come into your world here for a little bit. And all of you folks out there who are listening to Miss Jill, you just have to. You hear me? I'm beating the drum here. You have to get the VIP upgrade so that you can listen to her again, and so that you can get that her premium gift and all the other premium gifts. My goodness. I guess the thrill for me is getting to know so many people, because I teach that life is built on relationships, communication, and encouragement. There isn't anything that doesn't fit into one of those three categories. So, okay. A question that I'd love to ask is, and I'm going to spring this on you, when it comes to living your best life, what advice do you have for our audience, for our viewers? Your best life.
Well, Abraham Lincoln said, whatever you are, be a good one. And I will tell you, I am in constant improvement on myself. So I think committing to continuous growth, surrounding yourself with excellent mentors and coaches. I mean, I'm in, 3 masterminds. Yes, I'm busy. I'm in 3 masterminds. I have 3 coaches, and I am grateful, and then when I need something very specific, like how about exercise? I have somebody I hire, we do yoga twice a week together, right? Mm-hmm. I have somebody I do strength training with, different than the yoga teacher, because that's her specialty. Mm-hmm. I have my business coaches and my business masterminds. Absolutely. I have my spiritual work that I do once a month, very committedly. And I think that it's really key that you have like yourself in your schedule. Let me say that. Mm-hmm. So not only are you there for your clients, and of course we want to deliver with great integrity and focus and competence, but also you have to nurture you. You have to fill up you. So, that's why I have yoga on my schedule twice a week, and other exercise and prayer and meditation and things that nurture me, like getting out in nature and hang out with friends, right? I mean, in other words, self-care is key. And I think this time of COVID has taught us that a lot. Certainly, I've learned it more than ever. Mm-hmm. But, really, what's your commitment to yourself? And of course, your commitment to your clients. And I think people tend to forget about themselves, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So living your best life is about what is it you really want, and what do you need to do to create that?
Yes. Okay.
So one of mine's, I'm a sunset chaser, just saying. Some people chase storms. I chase sunsets. I make sure that on my calendar once a week, minimally, and it is more, is, whether it's get off early, whether it's on a Sunday, and I call them field trips. Uh-huh. And I go all around my beautiful place where I live, and I go wine tasting, cheese tasting, hanging out at the ocean, whatever it is, right? Mm-hmm. Spa treatments, my personal favorite. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And by the way, women and men, please. You have to take care of yourself, whatever that means for you. So put it in your calendar and put yourself in your calendar and watch your life, interestingly enough, get a lot better.
Okay. Well, thank you. Well, okay. You've got so many facets that to your life and what you do. Can we shift a little bit from the business, because we do have time for this, and tell us a little bit more about kindness? That is not only an interesting topic, but the profit. I see it behind you, the profit of kindness. That's that deserves explanation.
Absolutely. So, with The Profit of Kindness, that's actually my latest book. Super excited. You know, it kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't intend to write another book. You know, it's one of those. And I pay attention to what happens in life, right? Because sometimes you're just supposed to do certain things, and apparently I was supposed to do this. And what happened was, once the book got written, and it actually did very well from a PR perspective. I've been in Inc. magazine twice and Forbes magazine twice. And I've been, we were in Fox News 7 times, literally the first week it came out.
Woo!
I mean, all kinds of just amazing, amazing things.
Mhm.
Because, you know, Rick, what the world needs now is kindness.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, that's been a big theme. And I think there's a lot of need for it.
Mhm.
And of course, when you fill a need, well, that always helps, doesn't it? And then what happened from a result of that is God planted a seed in my heart, and that was to do kindness circles. And I'll tell you, I was busy promoting the book and running my virtual publicity course and you know, speaking and training all around the world. And then when COVID hit, I'm like, all right, we're going to do those kindness circles now. We're going to do it on Zoom. It can be people from all over the world. We can serve a lot more. And I actually started a year of kindness. I'm in my 2nd year of kindness. And we do World Kindness Summits celebrating World Kindness Day on November 13th every single year. So I've got a year of kindness every single month. We're a community close to over 250 people now. And we help each other in kindness. And it's just been magnificent. So how wonderful is that? And guess what? That's in combination with everything I'm doing. And by the way, we should, you know, invite people to that too. Is always great.
Wow. Yeah. So you've got The Profit of Kindness, and you're not just sitting on that book, because you understand and have actually written the book. It's not just a saying, on guerrilla publicity. So you know how to put something together and to make it work. Wow. Do you do that? Do you do that for other people? There was something about books and things in your bio.
Of course I do. You know, I've written 4 books now. Here they are.
There they are. Ta-da!
Ta-da! So, you know, once you do one and you see what works, and you get better and better with it. And yes, actually for 18 years, I've been helping people get major book deals with publishers and agents. And those people who already have books, maybe self-published, I help them get foreign rights deals. I've been going to the London Book Fair and the Frankfurt Book Fair for many years now, helping people get foreign rights deals. So, for instance, for mine, super excited, guerrilla publicity is in Slovenian, as well as simple Chinese. And The Profit of Kindness is now in India and in Russia. It just came out in Russian. So I'm super grateful for all that.
Wow. Okay. Well, I don't know. I think I could just talk to you forever. Anything else you want to share? Because you've given us so much. I know that you have more. We have a few minutes here. I'm trying to pull this out of Miss Jill here, because I know people are hanging on what you're saying, because you have so much to offer.
Well, thank you. And it's always a delight. You know, and one can say a lot, but one thing I've learned in media, here's a good tip.
Okay.
Keep people wanting more. Keep people wanting more. Like, ooh, what else might you offer? That drives people to your free gift, in my case that I'm doing. But here's what I want to leave you with. And especially now combining kindness with publicity, that kind companies get more publicity. Yeah. And here's the thing you all need to know. Your message matters. Your message matters. Let's get it out there. I've given you some simple tips today to start getting in the news, to expand your mind about what publicity can do for you. And with that simple visibility building activities, you're going to have more prospects. You're going to have that return on investment. And most importantly, you're going to have the 3 M's. You know, some people like M&M's. I like M&M, which is for the power of publicity to magnetize you, monetize you, and multiply you. That's what I want for all of you.
That is excellent. Well, I don't want to, but I'm gonna unless you have something else, I'm gonna let you off the hook here. Are we done for today? Do you think, Miss Jill?
I think, we're as complete as we can be in this moment.
Okay, all right. Okay, for all of you out there, I know you're gonna want to listen to this lady again, and you're definitely gonna want her stuff. Okay, all right. So upgrade to VIP. I tell you that at the end of every one, but I got to pound it into you. It's what this is all about. Okay, you don't learn stuff a lot of times the first time. You need her free gift. You need her premium gift. You need more of Miss Jill, and she's giving it. You got that? She's giving it to you. I think that's a very kind thing to do. So until the next video, thank you, Miss Jill, and we'll smile our way out. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Achieve Your Dream Summit. I'm your host, Coach Rick Stewart, and we have a marvelous young lady. She has so many talents and she knows so much stuff. You're just going to have to listen to her. She's going to talk a little bit about music, which is near and dear to my heart, but she's going to talk about, okay, spoiler alert, do this if you don't want to hear what she's going to talk about, but she's going to talk about something that I need, and I know tons of you need it, and that is LinkedIn and how to make it work. It's fallen off a log for her, okay, but not for me. And maybe some of you need some help when it comes to LinkedIn. So Wendy is going to help us out here. I'm going to read this bio on Miss Wendy Hatton. She is a heart-based sales coach and LinkedIn specialist. Wendy Hatton helps coaches increase their online presence while showcasing their expertise coming from a place of integrity and authenticity. She teaches her proprietary Max Leads formula, which allows them to attract quality leads, profitable business opportunities, and premium clients using LinkedIn. Okay, Miss Wendy, since our theme is Achieve Your Dream Summit, I'm going to ask you the question that I love to ask to each one of our special guest speakers. Wendy Hatton, what were you born to do?
Well, hello, and thank you for having me, Rick. This is a great opportunity to just share my story and everything. So what was I born to do? I was born to help make the world a better place. That's pretty much the bottom line. And I know I can't do it myself, so I help other people do that and sort of spread that global ripple effect and just make it bigger and bigger. And, the world definitely needs coaching and improving. So I'm the, the first catalyst that, helps other people help other people, if that makes any sense. I help helpers. So then I also have a musical talent. So that is my other passion. So basically my music helps transcend and my coaching helps transform. And so that's sort of, that helps people go from one place to another. Both of them do. So that's what I was born to do. Those two things, helping people move from one place to where they are now to where they want to be, whether it's sitting in a concert hall and they leave inspired and they want to have a better life because they were just felt so inspired and fulfilled during the concert, or people have problems in their life and they want to improve, they want to get from one place to the other. So if I'm not an expert in that particular area, then I can help those people who can help them. So that's basically what my whole dream and why I was born to do, for sure.
Well, in my era, I would call you a living Rolodex. That I can contact you for all sorts of different subjects and questions and all of that, because you're a ground floor person. You're a ground floor person, and when people come to you, they're gonna get a foundation. I know just from talking to you about LinkedIn that people are going to get a foundational knowledge that will carry them through to whatever they need to do in LinkedIn. And I know from your premium gift that you're also going to give them some of the higher end knowledge also. So
Right.
I can't wait. I can't wait. Now, okay, the next question is, what did you do to get there?
So, what did I do to get there? I was in the Navy band. I'm retired from the Navy band. I'm a clarinetist.
Love it.
And after I retired, I live in the DC area. And so after I retired, I knew I had to make some kind of income. So the logical thing to do was to start a clarinet studio where students would come to my house and have lessons, or I would go to their school or something. And so I did that as soon as I retired. I did it for 8 or 9 years. And then I actually, when you leave the military, I'm really embarrassed to talk about this, but I'm going to. After I retired, in DC, you had to be in tip-top shape, though it's a DC premium bands, so very high visible. So you had to really be in shape and everything. And so it was kind of a struggle for me for the reasons of trying to keep the weight down and all of that. So when I retired, then I was thinking, oh, I don't have to do that anymore. So for about 8 or 9 years, I just ate whatever I wanted to, and subsequently gained a whole lot of weight. So then it turned out I developed type 2 diabetes from the doctor, and that was what really changed my life. It was totally something that was totally a wake-up call for me. So I was scouring the internet trying to find some way to lose weight, and then I found a company or an organization that was a fitness weight loss program, and they had coaches there, and you could choose which ones you wanted. And I actually picked one that I really resonated with. I worked with her for a year and a half and lost 70 pounds with her.
Woo!
So that was my first experience with coaching. I was thinking, wow, this coaching works. So that's when I became a health coach. That's how I started out, as a health coach.
Wow.
So I had a couple of other health coach friends, and the three of us got together and put together a blog talk radio show online. And we interviewed coaches every single week of different niches. Because at the time, this was back in 2012, we didn't think that coaching was as commonly known to the public. So we would interview all these different coaches with different niches and everything. We did it for 5 years. And I was able to get to know some of them, and a lot of them would tell me they wish they had more clients. And we couldn't believe, I thought it was a shame that they had all of this expertise. We interviewed them, so we felt like we were getting a coaching session every week. And so I just felt like it was such a shame that they were not able to get their work out to people. So I decided, with the limited experience I had for back when I had my clarinet studio, I went out and I actually got some training and helped one of the co-hosts, and worked with her for 3 months, and she just blossomed. And it was such a fulfilling feeling for me, knowing that I had something to do with her success in her business, that I decided to just do that. I transitioned into sales coaching because I knew that coaches were hesitant and didn't really think that they could do sales, because they thought they would be too pushy or manipulative or something. And so I have helped them change their mindset around that, to make it so that they are coming from a place of honesty, integrity, compassion, and it really changes the way the sales process goes. So that's how I eventually got into LinkedIn, because that was the vehicle that I was helping them, their main platform, because LinkedIn has such a robust profile, more than any other social media platform. The profile is just so expansive. You can really represent your brand, your message, and who you are, so that the person visiting it is it can get to know you, and without even talking to you, they can just see if you have it set up correctly. They can just see who you are and immediately want to move forward with you. And the other reason is because LinkedIn has a what they call a public profile, so that anybody on the internet, whether they are on LinkedIn or not, they can Google your name. And I guess Google and LinkedIn have some kind of a partnership. So anytime somebody Googles their name, the LinkedIn link is way up high on the page. So if your profile is not up to date, if it's not looking right, if it doesn't represent what you stand for in your business, then somebody might look you up and, you know, checking you out to see if they want to hire you. Then they look at your LinkedIn profile and think, well, this is not the person I thought this was. So next, so that's an opportunity gone for you. So that's why I help people with that particular getting their profile up to date, optimized, so that first impression that anyone has on you is a positive one, so that they want to continue and reach out to you and work with you. So that's why I included LinkedIn about for the coaches, because a lot of coaches don't understand it. They don't get it. There's a specific strategy that you have to follow. The first step is being clear. You can't have more than one LinkedIn account. So say you have two things going on, you can't have two different accounts. It's too confusing, so they don't allow you to do that. So you have to set up your profile in a way where you can first decide which one you want to really focus on and promote as your main business. And then if you have something else, there's a section called the About section where you can sort of blend the two if that is relevant for you. So anyway, so LinkedIn is an amazing platform, and I'm happy to help whoever needs help with it, because I know how to do it.
Wow. Not only do you know how to do it, but you're a nice person. Yeah, I've noticed that you're not a pushy person, or you're
Not
not
at
going
all.
to stand over somebody with a baseball bat and say, "You're really stupid. You're not getting this." Bam.
Not at all, because I
Oh,
was right
yeah.
where they were.
Yeah. Wow. Well,
Mm.
the third question I'd like to ask, and I think you've answered a lot of this one, is how does your dream, or how does your business fit into your dream?
Oh yes. So my whole goal is to expand the global ripple effect of helping the world getting the whole world coached, even if they're
Yay.
um, to coach the entire world. Um, so that sort of LinkedIn is the way that I'm helping people expand their visibility, their influence, um, by the profile, by reaching out on how they reach out to people on LinkedIn. There's so many people on LinkedIn that are salesy and pushy, and once the initial connection happens, then the next message is, "Hey, buy my stuff." No, that's not how you do it. It's a relationship building platform. The selling doesn't happen at all on LinkedIn. It's basically reaching out, getting to know each other, and building that trust, know, like, and trust. I'm sure you've heard of that term.
Oh yeah.
That's what happens on LinkedIn. And then maybe if they are more inclined to want to learn more about you, maybe you have some kind of piece of content on your profile that you mentioned in the About section. Then that way they can become maybe on your email list if you have one, and you can nurture them, educate them more without, like, off of the platform of LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is kind of the beginning point to getting to know, for the people to get to know who you are, how you are, and how you can help them. So that's how that fits in to the dream.
A relationship building platform. Wow.
Correct.
I have taught for so many years, for 35 plus years, that everything in life is built on relationships, communication, and encouragement.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see that so many of the people who are speakers on this summit are encouragers, and you're a dandy. I would have Well, I'm going to be one of your clients. I'm just telling you, I don't know how to work. I don't know how to work LinkedIn, and I just let it sit there. And
Mhm.
I need to do something with it. I'll read over your material, and I will also your incredible premium gift.
Hmm.
Whew, I'm gonna take the course.
Are you okay?
Oh, absolutely, I will. Yeah. I don't believe in coincidence. That I believe our talking is it's gonna help me. It's gonna start here with me, and then I can and will refer people to you
Oh,
because you have to be able to in a business world that is not face to face, it's mask to mask or Zoom to Zoom right now. You have to be able to put out there in 4 to 6 seconds that you are somebody credible and that you are somebody that they might want to check into or even make it exciting so that they're like, I gotta check out this Wendy person.
right.
I gotta check out Coach Rick. Got to see what's going on. So yeah, I can see a
Yes.
lot of people coming to you, Wendy. I really can. In
Oh,
fact,
thank you.
let's look at. You told me what the title of what you're talking about today. Tell everybody what that is.
The title is Level Up with LinkedIn.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I want the ebook first.
Oh, the ebook, the
You're not
ebook.
getting off that easy. You're getting this is. I want the freebie because the freebie got me salivating. It just got me all excited. Tell them.
Okay, the freebie is called Six Figure LinkedIn Success System. And what it is an
Woo!
steps, 8 step process from the very beginning of the whole process of the LinkedIn experience. The very first thing is how to be clear on what you are, who you are, how you help. So within the ebook, there is a little area where you can fill in who is it that you work with? What is it that you do? What is their demographics? So get really clear on the actual people that you want to work with. Because on LinkedIn, there's a way to search for those particular types of people. And then you would end up getting hundreds of that particular type of person that you are clear about and that you want to work with. That's why LinkedIn is so amazing because you can search and filter out the people that aren't in your target market and only bring in the people that you are meant to work with. So that's the first part of the ebook, and then it helps you with doing the profile, with optimizing it, making it searchable, so that when other people are searching for particular keywords or things that you can actually help them with, your profile will pop up. If you don't have those kinds of things in your profile, then people won't be able to really find you. So the keywords should be just very sparingly put in your profile. You don't want to put a whole bunch of them. It makes it spammy. So it's just very tastefully placed in strategic little places so that when someone else searches for any particular word that you would have on your profile, then your profile would pop up and then they'll see it and then they'll go to it and take a look at it. So that's the second step. And then the next step is actually going out and reaching out to people. Once your profile is all optimized and ready to go, then you start engaging with people, going back and forth, connecting with them. LinkedIn gives you an option to either send a connection just without any kind of note, but they do actually suggest that you do include a little note when you request connection because you get more people to respond back and connect back to you. So you write a little.
And you suggest that too. You suggest that.
Oh, definitely. But you have to make sure you see their profile. A lot of people don't look at the profile; they just look at the headline, which is good, but they don't see the whole profile. And so, one important thing to do is to look for some kind of commonality that you might have with the person. That helps the connection be more valuable and more quality. Like if you went to the same school or you happen to have a lot of mutual friends or mutual connections, or if there's something further down, there's a section where you can put your volunteer work that you've done. if you've done the same kind of thing, that's how you can really connect much more with quality connections, because you've got something in common. If it's just random, it's not as easy to connect with somebody that you're just kind of sending kind of a default kind of a message. So if it has some kind of commonality to it, then they're much more willing to connect back to you. Like in my case, I'm a veteran, so I say, "Oh, I notice you're a veteran. So am I. Like, where are you? Where were you stationed?" That kind of thing. So, so that's you. You learn about that, engaging with people, and then you learn just about how to set up your opt-in gift that you offer on your profile, because then that'll take you into the email system, so that you can nurture them. And then there's this very cool feature that they recently put up on LinkedIn. It's called, it's an app. It's a LinkedIn app. So you can upload it onto your phone. So you can actually be walking around and have LinkedIn in your pocket.
Good timing for me. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So then also, in order to become an expert or be the expert in front of certain number of people, what you want to do, the first thing is to look for LinkedIn groups that have people in it that are relevant to those that you work with, people that you work with. So you join those groups and you post or you comment on things with your expertise on it. If somebody else posts a question, and then if you know the answer to it, then you tell them the answer. You're just kind of displaying your expertise inside that group, so that people say, "Oh, wow, he knows what he's talking about." And then maybe every once in a while you can post some kind of an article, maybe not your article, but just one that's relevant to the group. So basically you're engaging with the people inside the group. And you can do this with many groups. I think you can be members of up to about 50 different groups. So then after you've done that, then you can create your own group. It can be LinkedIn or Facebook. Actually, I have two. I have a LinkedIn group and a Facebook group, and it sort of intertwines between the two. I have a lot of my Facebook group members came from LinkedIn, so it's all social media. So once that's the next thing is to establish yourself as the expert in your topic, in your field. And then once that happens, then people are more willing to reach out to you, and they're going to check your profile out once they see you. So that's why the profile is the very first thing that you need to have ready and available and optimized for other people to look at. So then after that, then you just continue the process and have people get together. And then if they're more interested in what you do, then you can either collaborate. LinkedIn is an amazing platform for collaboration relationships, and also, of course, for getting clients too. Some people may think, "Oh, I don't know if I want to go on LinkedIn because my clients aren't there." But if that is the case, there are many people who know your clients, so they can refer to you, or you can do little projects together, collaborate together, and then those people that they think are not on LinkedIn will still will connect to you, because the other person, your referral / collaboration partner, knows these people. And so that's how that works too. Because a lot of people think it's just like executive type people, CEOs, those types of people. But they know people who have the problem that you can solve. Let's say that you help people with backache. LinkedIn people have backaches, but or they know people with backaches. So even though LinkedIn is a B2B platform, I call it B2B to C, because LinkedIn members are also consumers. So, and then they know consumers. So that's my take on it. Let's see, what else did you ask me I can't even remember what you asked me. Just
Well, I am, and we're great on time here.
okay.
I am thrilled that you are giving away this information to people, because obviously you're an expert, and you are, and you're very humble, and I appreciate that too. I do believe that anybody who comes to you, you're not going to shame them for not knowing what to do, or maybe doing something that didn't work, or
No, not at all.
no, but there are people like that
Mm,
who try to teach, and they're highfalutin, and I'm the king, sort of a thing, and you're not like that. So
hmm
you're very approachable, and there's an interesting word going around now: authenticity. And
Yes.
you're an authentic person. You really are.
Oh, I
So
appreciate that.
um,
Thank you.
the freebie alone, just being able to, and to be able to come back, and I'm talking to you, audience, coming back and listening to Wendy again, and getting some more on what's going on. A lot of it's going to be in the ebook, but she is telling you what's going on in the ebook, and I think that's very, very helpful. Now, are you ready? This is a big-hearted woman, okay? She's giving away, for her premium VIP gift, she's giving away a $500 course. Yeah, she's giving it away. And for a lot of you out there who are really into LinkedIn, this is going to blow your mind. So you're on, Miss Wendy. Tell us about, first of all, what's the title of your VIP gift?
The title is the Go High Ticket Upgrade Course. And so what that means is, if you have a program right now that is a low ticket, that there's not too much value, people buy it for 27.57 or something. It's like, so very low ticket. This particular course is going to help you implement and like you insert elements that are high end elements that will make the value rise, and it'll make it much more irresistible for people on LinkedIn, because people on LinkedIn, the average income is higher, a lot higher than it is on Facebook. So this is the best platform to be able to offer to your connections. Once you form that relationship and they really want to work with you, this would be a great idea to be able to create, to have a program that you can offer them. There are 2 modules to it. The first one just talks about the different elements that you can insert. And for instance, if you want to add a retreat, I mean, that in itself would make an amazing program. And so all these other different ideas to help you upgrade the program. And then the second module is about how to authentically price it. And they give you some different models, ways that you can display it or deliver it, and how you can offer it to people so that they say, wow, how could I resist this? Of course I'm going to get this. so this course is going to help you create your own individual, unique program for people who know exactly, they know, like, and trust you, and they know that you can help them. So this is going to help them feel special too, because some of the things are unique to them that no one else would be able to get. So and also this course is inside a platform where you would sign up, you would make an account, you create an account, and then once you get in there with your login information, there's a welcome video and sort of instructions on how to navigate inside the platform and to get the best experience to really go for it and take your program, or you can just create a new program, a high ticket program, and be able to offer it within like the next few weeks if you really implement everything that is taught inside both of those modules.
That you teach. You're much too modest. The things that you teach, yes, implement them. What is dollar wise? What is kind of the entry level dollar amount to what would be termed high ticket? Is it $500, 1,000, or two?
Nowadays, right now it's about 1,000, like 997 per month for a program. That's where it starts. It can go up to 10, 20,000, but you know that's a whole mindset thing as well. So it's good to start at the lower end. You could maybe do a 3-month package that could be total 997. That's probably the lowest in a high ticket program that you can do. Three months and 997, and then you can eventually like push it up like every couple of clients once you get a little bit more confident and you have some testimonials that's like social proof that of other people that have succeeded with your help. Then you can raise it up to like keeping it 3 months, and you can go up to $5,000. So it's all relative, and as long as people can get the result that you are promising them that you can give them, they will pay for it. They're not going to be paying for, they're paying for the result. They're not really paying for hourly, and that's one thing you want to make sure that that you're not charging by the hour. That's like you're charging by the time, like, you know, for every minute for $1. That's very limiting. You can't really scale that way. So as long as you have a high value, irresistible offer and program, they'll pay for that. They'll pay for that result that they want. So that's what that Go high ticket program is going to help you do. Help you put together.
Well, I find it fascinating because you and I are both part of a joint venture group called JV, or Joint Venture Insider Circle. And I have noticed when we get people together and do the Zooms, you know, where you got 50 people on there and everybody's talking and you break off into little rooms and stuff. People are afraid of doing the two things that you're doing in this course that you're giving away. And that is how to design. I mean, do I even have it in me to design a high ticket course? I mean, who's gonna pay for what I know?
Right.
And you're teaching them in that first module about building a high ticket course. And the other one that just scares the wee out of people is, how do I price it? And people are constantly too low, too low, too low, too low, too low. And
Right.
and the ones who are doing it are getting into these breakout rooms and stuff and saying, hey, look, you're charging $97. Stop it. You know, that's at least $297, $497. And then people say, oh, I can't do that. Well, you're giving them both ends of that, both sides of that in a free course. You listening now? Okay, this is why. This right here, this course from this lovely lady, this knowledgeable lady, this total top influencer lady, it is worth the cost, okay, of upgrading. You need to do it. It's not about the money. It's about the access. It's about, do you want to know what to do with LinkedIn? And I'll bet you $1 to a donut that's most everybody who's watching this or listening to this, that you would love to know more about LinkedIn, and it's all here. You start with the profile, you start with the freebie, you go to the big course. And what would you say the normal time is? Let's say that you already have a course. Okay, I have a $497 course. All right, if I wanted to get on LinkedIn, learn all of your stuff from the ebook, and then dive into your course, what's a normal length of time to make that happen, to get to where you've learned what you need to learn and put it into action?
Is this including your LinkedIn, for getting all of your LinkedIn, everything set and ready to go? I would say 60 days. Give it 60 days.
Wow.
Yes.
To me,
Yeah.
that's fast. To me, that's fast.
Really?
We move slower in the South. I'm in Nashville, so 60 days. Well, that's very comforting. In fact, the term that comes to mind is exhilarating. It's exhilarating to me that first of all, that you know all this stuff. That's exhilarating. And by the way, you need to look on LinkedIn for a drummer, a bass player, and maybe a saxophone player, and then just go out and play some gigs. With the clarinet. Do you play sax too?
No, well, I know how, but
Oh,
I don't play professionally.
okay, all right.
Just clarinet.
All right.
Mhm.
Well, you need to make some videos of you playing with a band. Just let her fly. I'd love to see that. All righty. Okay, so we covered most everything here, and the closer that I love to ask, and I want to ask you, is when it comes to living your best life, what advice do you have for our viewers, for our audience, your best life?
I just have one sentence, and that is just do the right thing. What is in your heart? Just have your authenticity. What's your heart telling you to do? And that, I think, is your best teacher, or the best thing that you can hang on to in order to have a life that you really want, and help other people be more attentive to other people than you are to yourself. I mean, you are supposed to, like, self-care and all that is important, of course, but the other person, just be aware of other people and their feelings, and how you react to them. Make sure that you're not offending people. Don't burn bridges. That's a big thing on LinkedIn. If you're feeling like you are not really resonating, or someone's not resonating with you, but you really would like to win them over, that you can do that. Like, you don't have to burn the bridges and say, oh, forget this is not going to work, even though I do really like this person, but it just seems like the connection isn't quite there. You can just give them more value. Maybe that's the thing, just to give people more value and give them more of yourself, your authentic self, and don't be fake. Try not to be someone you're not. So just be yourself. That's my, I think it's be yourself and be authentic and come from your heart.
Okay. Well, I thoroughly have enjoyed doing all of these summit interviews, but I'll tell you, this is on top of my list, Miss.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
because of your authenticity and the incredible amount of help you can give to people who, in this economy, with people who are being told, you could do this and you could start your own business. You could do your own course. You could do a brick and mortar. You could do whatever it is. You could do whatever. Some of those are Spotify, things like that. And the encouragement that you can give is not coming from, okay, over the last 2 years, seeing what's going on, I've learned this and this and this, and blah, I'm going to regurgitate this onto you. No, this is a lifetime for you. This is a lifetime of weeding out the things that people don't need in their lives and putting in the things that they do, putting in the right circuitry, the right attitudes. And for me, people who are at a crossroads, people who are frustrated, people who are in transition, they usually have at least 30 years under their belt, because it takes at least that, I think, to get to where you understand the world that you're living in. And you may not like it, and you may, but that gives you something to look back on and say, I really need to do this. And there's this marvelous teacher out there. Her name is Wendy Hatton. And I'm going to go back over the videos from the Achieve Your Dream Summit. I'm going to find her and see if maybe she can't help me get my stuff together and do what I was born to do. So I can see myself sending you people. I can definitely see that.
Oh, I appreciate that so much. Thank you.
Now, one bit of housekeeping. When people click on your course, your premium course, do they need a coupon or anything? A coupon code? They don't.
No, they don't. All I need to do is just create your username and passcode, and then you're automatically in.
Okay. I just want to make sure. I don't want people frustrated because they're going to
Oh,
go there with big smiles on their faces and okay. I'm going to tell you what you do. What you do extremely well is you give people hope. You give people hope that okay, I don't have to just depend on word of mouth. I don't have to just depend on JVs. I don't have to depend on Facebook groups that I find kind of difficult to stay up on, but that there is another entity out there. And Wendy has proven to me with her expertise and with her vibrant just her portrayal of what it can be like to be successful and plugging in the component of plugging yourself into LinkedIn, where you can find other like-minded, like-hearted people, and away you go.
absolutely.
So
Mhm.
I can't thank you enough for being on here. You know
Thank you
what to
so
do.
much.
You know what to do, audience, and I'll see you on unless this is the last one. I don't have them in order yet, but I'll see you on the next video. And goodbye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Everybody, and welcome to the Achieve Your Dream Summit. We're having a great time. I mean, we really are. Some of my favorite people in the whole world are allowing me to pick their brains and to put them on the podium, to put them on the spot, to ask them questions and get to know them a little bit more, maybe a whole lot more. Today's guest is absolutely one of my favorite people. Her name is Denise Thomas. And a little bit about Denise. Denise is a TEDx speaker. She's an international best-selling author and a coach to parents of college-bound teens. Using her proprietary repeatable strategy, both of her teens attended their first choice college, got that, first choice, on 17 scholarships exceeding, wait for it, $199,000, walking out of college with cash in hand. And then she says, you can do it too. And when you hear the title of her talk today, it's going to blow your mind. I know there are skeptics out there. I was, when I first talked to Denise, I thought, oh, come on, this has got to be some sort of a scheme there. You can't go to college without racking up debt. And she proceeded. She was very kind, and then she just talked me down, just cool off, Rick, and told me exactly what she does. And I've been blown away ever since. Couldn't wait to do this summit and have Denise on. So without further ado, take it away, Denise Thomas.
Hey, Rick, thank you so much for being on. I'm so excited to be able to share this with your viewers.
Glad to have you. So hey, since the theme is achieve your dream, let's start with my nearest and dearest question. My course, as everyone will find out, is Strategy for Destiny. What were you born to do? So I want to ask you, Denise Thomas, what were you born to do?
I love learning, but I was born to educate and encourage others. I'm a constant researcher, and I love imparting that knowledge to others so that they can improve their lives. I taught guitar lessons as a teenager. I taught math at the university level. Kids from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. But just before my oldest began high school, my husband was laid off twice. Then the stock market crashed, and we had to use what was left to pay the bills. The money ran out fast. We ended up in bankruptcy, liquidation, and lost, well, literally everything. Wow. If you could touch it, it was sold. We bought a lawnmower and a trailer, and we started mowing lawns to put food on the table. We were starting over as if we were a newly married couple, but we had 2 kids about to start high school. And not long afterward, my research skills kicked in. I knew in my gut there had to be a way for my kids to go to college, but we couldn't pay for it. There was no way. And with the bankruptcy, that meant we didn't have any credit to co-sign for student loans either. So that took it right off the table. And since I was homeschooling my kids, I was also very concerned about college admissions.
Yeah.
Do this, so that was how I got started with understanding that my goal in life, my destiny in life, what I was born to do is to teach, to research, and teach others.
Well, my second question, I think you pretty much answered it, is what did you do to get there? Because that's what I'm all about, is helping people get to their destiny, their dream destiny, and fulfilling that. So expound a little more on that.
Well, actually, in all honesty, I got lucky. And I know going through bankruptcy might not seem like it was a lucky thing, but I actually am quite grateful for it today. I didn't know that that's what I was born to do until much, much later in life. I came to the realization after going through a Find Your Spiritual Gifts course at my church.
Yes.
What was interesting was that with this, those who are closest to you, friends and family who know you well, also take the assessment on your behalf. And they tell what they see in you, in your life, and what you are born to do. What is your gifts? And although I had been doing it, teaching in one form or another since I was a teenager, it never struck me that that was a spiritual gift, that that's really what I was born to do, was to teach others.
Wow. I've just a side note there. I have taught that course multitudes of times to hundreds of people, and it's always an eye opener. Always, especially when other people give their input on you. You really think that's me? And then when like 5 or 6 people say that's you, it's, oh my, I don't know about that. Better change that. Okay, so here's kind of the crux. This is where the rubber meets the road and the pedal meets the metal, is how does your business fit into your dream?
Well, after we dropped off my youngest at his college, my husband and I bought a 42-foot motorhome and went full-time RVing across the US for 5 years. But while we were on the road, I got emails and text messages from friends or friends of friends asking how was I able to get free college for both of our homeschooled kids. So I found myself coaching while we were on the road. And since we had always had a business of some kind, mentoring. And my dream, or my mission, as I call it, is to flip the student debt statistic here in the US. And I do that through what I call my Cracking the Code to Free College strategy. We have been taught, convinced of, whatever you want to call it, manipulated into believing myths that are keeping our kids in debt.
Yeah.
And it's a struggle for me because I desperately want. We have been stuck into this mentality that says, but this is how we're supposed to do it. This is what everybody does. Sure. But that's the problem. You see, if you do what everyone else is doing, you're going to get what everyone else is getting.
True.
College debt, correct?
Yes.
So ideally, I like to catch my families as early as possible, even if it's just a quick 15, 20-minute conversation while their kids are in middle school, to get them started on the right path with the right. We've been told, wait until junior, senior year to do anything that's related to college. The truth is, in my research, Rick, I found that 30% of college students graduate debt-free every single year.
That's amazing.
Doesn't matter whether their parents are wealthy, destitute, student athlete, brilliant, average, means nothing. This is just the fact that they are doing something different. So when I was doing the research for my own, we were freaking desperate. We had nothing. There was no 401k left because the stock market had crashed. We had to use what was left in the 401k and what was left in the savings to pay the bills. What would we do? That's when my research skills kicked in. And that's when I found out that these kids that are graduating debt-free have several things in common that we've been ignoring because that's not what we're told to do. That's not what the high school counselors are advising. And that's the problem. I'm literally fighting high school counselor advice almost every single day. I hear parents will come to me and it's like, oh, well, we know we want to hire you. We want this program. It's great. I love everything you got in it. This is awesome. And then there's a but. My high school counselor says, we need to wait until we get our ACT and SAT scores back before we can choose what college we should attend. And I'm like, it's like, I do not want their job. Let me just put that right there. I do not want their job, but their job is not to help your kid get into college without cost. Their job is to help your kid get through high school, period. They are dealing with all kinds of other issues. College is really low on that totem pole for them. So they're not researching this. They're not putting in that kind of time and effort. They only know what they were told, and what they were told is incorrect. Way is risking the money. Let me give you a quick example. I have two kids. They're 5 years apart. When my daughter was in her high school senior year, she was applying for one of the largest scholarships in the country, the Coca-Cola Scholars Scholarship. Now, she has an incredible high school resume. She's a ballroom dancer. She's a competitor winning regional championships. She teaches for pay as well as for community service at other high schools in the area. This was awesome. But this application begins with pages and pages of checkboxes of typical high school activities and leadership roles. She couldn't check enough boxes.
Oh.
So her application went nowhere because you see, when you have literally hundreds of thousands of kids applying, they don't have people for that. That goes through a computer. Besides, you've checked enough boxes. Let's find out more. And then you get the real application. Well, when I saw this, my son is 5 years younger. I now have the application. So when he started high school, I partnered with another parent to create opportunities for them to be able to check enough boxes. So when you're starting early, because the bottom line is you don't know what you don't know. And by the time you know it, but you can make these things happen for your kids. You can give them opportunities to be able to check these boxes. And we're not talking about being the jack of all trades. That's old school. That's 30 years ago. That's not what colleges are looking for right now. But to be able to check enough boxes on these scholarships to be able to get to the next level and then be able to fill in the real application. When my son was a senior, he became a Coca-Cola semifinalist.
Excellent.
We knew what needed to be done, and he was able to take him through the steps to be able to check enough boxes.
Brilliant. Hey, this is a good spot for you to tell everybody the amazing title of what you're sharing with us today. I love it.
Everything you think you know about college is a lie. Send your kids to college on other people's cash.
I love that. I love that. That's you. That is you, Denise. And you have helped so many people and are continuing to help people. Go on. I don't want to interrupt. This is fascinating. Even like the fourth or fifth time I've heard it, amazing.
Well, the truth is, for the last 3 decades, society has been telling us that you must get a college degree to be successful in life, as an example. And it's simply not true. a mechanic can make the same amount of money as a mechanical engineer. So what's right for your child may not be right for someone else. Everybody doesn't need a college degree. And that's just one small of that long list of myths that we've been told. And I mentioned another one, wait till junior, senior year before you do anything college related. The truth is, if you wait until that point in time, by the time your kids are filling out those college applications, if they don't have what the colleges are looking for, it's too late.
Too late. Yeah.
It's too late. So the earlier that we can start and work together, the better it's going to be, the more opportunities there will be. And here's another interesting. When their kid has been accepted to their college, they've got their financial aid offer, and now they see that there's a gap. So they will come to me, Denise, I just need scholarships. Can we just do the part that's just finding scholarships? And I said, we could, but your kid won't win any. Well, what do you mean? Finding scholarships is easy. Winning scholarships takes strategy. There's a that works. When this is before COVID, I was on a stage in California, and a mom came up to me after I'd gotten off the stage, and she asked,
Denise,
yes, I'm here.
I want you to go back a ways because your microphone, either mine or yours, quit.
Okay.
2 minutes ago, 3 at the most.
What was the last thing you remember?
Refresh my memory. Well, go back a ways.
Should we go back to the title?
Yeah, it was after that. Definitely after that. Yes.
Okay, then that's cool. Okay. So for the last 3 decades, society has been telling us that you must get a college degree to be successful in life.
Yes.
And it's simply not true. For example, a mechanic and a mechanical engineer have the possibility of making the same income.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to do that. And, I know how this comes about because there are, quote, studies that show that over the life of whatever the career is, but they're not taking into account the college debt that comes along with it for the vast majority of people, for that 70% that I mentioned. There are so many other myths, and I mentioned one earlier, wait until the junior, senior year to get this started when it comes to college. But because we're waiting, by the time your kids start applying to their colleges in senior year, if they don't have that information, it's too late to get it. It's too late. Scholarships actually begin as early as kindergarten. So
okay.
When families come to me, and usually they come when they have their child has already got college acceptances and they've got their financial aid form and they realize, there's a gap. I need to find 20 grand a year now. What do we do? Denise, I just need to find scholarships. How do we do that? Can you just take that part? I can, but your kid won't win any. And I'm not, I'm not trying to be mean here, but finding scholarships is easy. There are millions of scholarship opportunities available out there for a total of $23 billion every single year. There's a lot of money to be had.
Yes.
So finding them is not the problem. The problem is winning, and winning takes strategy. Mm-hmm. So I want parents to understand the earlier that we start this process, the better, because here's another thing. I mentioned scholarships begin in kindergarten. For high school seniors, scholarship deadlines begin in May of your junior year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So if you wait until, I don't know, they got their college acceptances in November or December of senior year, you have lost 6 months of opportunities of scholarship deadlines. Mm. Starting early is really a key.
Yeah. Okay. So how long do I have to wait? How long do our viewers have to wait for you to tell the story about your son? Spoiler alert, that he had money left over. I want to, you know, are you going to get to that?
We can get to that. For example, you know, yes, we're all concerned, and parents are literally having trouble sleeping at night, worried about their kids having all this college debt. Going to have the debt, or the parents are going to suck the money out of their retirement. Now you're wondering if you're going to have enough retirement money left. Because trust me, your kids are not planning to bankroll you for your retirement. That's not in their game plan. Yeah. So being able to take this a step further. Sure, it's great to not have the stress while your kids are in college. For me personally, I was that college student that didn't have the money. I attended college families, but contrary to popular belief, being destitute does not mean you get free college. What we got was tuition. Tuition did not cover room and board or books.
Yeah.
I worked 3 jobs during school to be able to make ends meet. Still, I had to, I call it, lift food from the college cafeteria so that I could have food to eat on the weekends.
Wow.
I was always worried that my paychecks would not hit the bank account early enough and my tuition. And I will tell you that I had a friend at the time who worked in a rather high level banking system, not going to say what, and he was able to pull my tuition check, waiting for my income to get into that bank account and then drop it back in and bounce. It was very handy, and I was so blessed to have that opportunity. But your kids are going to be stressed. They're stressed worried about if they're going to have the money to pay that tuition check coming up next. And then as they begin to get older in that college experience, that's when they start to realize what that mounting college debt really is. Because at first, trust me, they don't understand the money at all when they're signing on the dotted line. But after college, that's when it really counts, because your kids can actually get paid to go to college. That's what my kids did, and that's what most of my families are able to do.
That sounds like such an oxymoron, Denise. It really does. Get paid to go to college? What?
Yeah, I've actually, and you know, a lot of, like, one family says, well, your kids must be geniuses because your kids, they did all this. They have to be geniuses. My kid applied to so many scholarships and didn't win any. But here's the deal. Of that 17 scholarships, that almost $200,000 that my kids won, half did not ask for GPA or test scores.
Wow.
That's $100,000 of anybody can win it cash. And it's real money. I'll also mention, because a lot of things, I hate to say it, but there's a lot of unscrupulousness that goes on in my industry. I know a few years ago, there was a huge hoopla with some people cheating.
Yeah.
But people and media cheat. For example, at least once, sometimes twice a year, I'll see some newspaper somewhere saying, oh, this kid in our area won $1.7 million in scholarships. No, they didn't. That is a lie. That is to get you to read the article. What this poor child did is that this poor child applied to 130 colleges, got accepted, and got a little teeny tiny bit from every college. The average is about $30,000, $35,000. That has to come up with between $70,000 and $170,000 more to finish it out.
Yeah.
And I've also seen other consultants, and I hate to say it, but they're doing the same thing. They're using the same ploy. They'll say things like, we have 50,000 students who earned XYZ amount in scholarships. Well, if you can do the math, what you learn is that they average $2,000 a piece. That's
goodness.
But that's not what I'm talking about, right? And I've even seen another one who specifically says that she won $900,000 in scholarships. Again, when you really talk to her, you get the real story. She too applied to so many colleges and the average was a lot less.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly disagree with that. To me, that's a lack of integrity. I
It is.
cannot do that. My kids actually won 17 scholarships for a total of 200 grand. And that is how much they actually brought into the colleges that they attended. Graduated debt-free with cash left over. My daughter graduated with $4,000 left over. My son graduated with $10,000 left over. Now, I'm thinking, awesome. You can set up your apartment. I'll fly your sister in. She can help you get this, because I did the rest of his life. I have a younger brother who still lives like a broke college student. But I'm glad we didn't jump the gun and do that immediately. Because 3 months into his new job after college, and this is recent, he's what I call a COVID graduate. He graduated in 2020. 3 months into his new job, his car broke down, needed a new transmission. That was more than $4,000. His electricity went out for a number of days. He had another $500 and something. His computer broke. That was $1,000 fix. And then a month later, he wrecked a rental car for another. Hold on a moment. That's Siri doing her thing. I can't shut her up. I'm so sorry.
We love Siri.
I'm sorry. If I say the word computer, she starts talking.
Okay. All righty. Well, I'd rather listen to you. Yeah.
So my son graduated with $10,000 left over. This $10,000, I think my computer's getting unstable again. Okay. All right, we'll back up. The $10,000 I thought he was going to use to set up his new apartment and not live like a broke college student his whole life. I even volunteered, said, look, it'll cost me a little bit, but I'll send your sister down to help you set it up. Get all your, I did not want him to live, like a pauper. But I'm glad we didn't do that right away. Because just a few months into his first postgraduate job, and he graduated last year in 2020, his car broke down and needed a new transmission.
Ouch.
That was more than $4,000. His computer broke. That was a $1,000 repair. Then his electricity went out in his apartment for a long extended period of $500. And then a month later, he wrecked a rental car. That was $1,000 deductible. And since he's actually still had additional car trouble, it seems like every month there's, $600, $700 coming out to fix his car. Ouch. He has not had to ask us for a dime.
Yay. What a good boy.
So, and I'll mention another thing that is helpful with having that extra money. You don't realize it, but your kids do think about other people other than themselves. I have another client whose daughter graduated debt-free with cash left over. And in her postgraduate area where she lives, her travels happen to take her in areas that have a lot of homeless. Well, they hadn't found a church yet. So she takes that 10% and she creates paper sacks filled with necessities for the homeless. And she labels them male, female, and child. She placed them behind the seat in her car. So when she passes families on the road, she can hand those out. And it has coupons for meals for local areas and things like that. So there's so much good that comes from this. It's not just having the money, it's what you can do with it. And I love giving that gift to families.
And the self-esteem too. I mean, you come out of college and you don't know what you don't know. And you've got all of these grandiose ideas. I mean, this is what I deal with and what were you born to do? And they've got these, I'm going to change the world. And then there's no money, and they owe a lot of money, and they're trying to make these payments. And heaven forbid they get married or start a family and they still have these huge payments. The self-esteem just goes right into the toilet. And
well, Rick, that's something that they don't tell you. Yes. Now, some kids will have debt that they think is reasonable for themselves. More power to you. Maybe your plan, maybe your career has a nice income, and your outgo for your debt isn't so bad. Fantastic. But with graduating with debt, the odds are pretty darn good your significant other will also bring debt into the family.
Yes.
Now you have just doubled what you thought was reasonable.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah.
I have a nephew who he has 2 kids, college age. He's over 40, and he still owes $80,000 in college debt. It's preposterous. It's crazy.
I have friends in their 40s doing the same thing, that they cannot afford a house because they still have college debt. It's really sad. Yet kids that I have, families that I have that are coming out of college without debt, within 5 years are buying houses. So there's so many positives to this. And for me, the best part, guess what? They have the money to come back for the holidays and visit mom. That's kind of a thing.
That's so huge. That is, oh, that's so good. Are you ready? And okay, the people, okay, you out there, you're listening to this, okay? This lady, if you don't have kids in kindergarten to college age, you find some people, you know dozens of them who do have young kids, and they don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen with our economy, our government, all that stuff. But at least you can get a hold of Denise and get some encouragement that's real, not just highfalutin or just publicity to get you to watch my video and I'll help you, even though it's a bunch of malarkey. Yeah, but you need to get up with, I'm from Tennessee, so, get up with Denise and help these people to know what to do. And she knows what to do. And she can bring you a lot. Wouldn't it be nice to have peace of mind about your kids going to school and your kids with their education from kindergarten through college? Wouldn't, maybe even masters, maybe even doctors. Yeah. Wouldn't that be a fun thing? Wouldn't you sleep better at night? You're on, Denise. I love you. You are so good.
You're sweet. Well, yeah. Both the mom and the child are in college at the same time, both doing it debt-free with cash left over. So it is possible, even for adults going back to undergrad, or if you have a child who is going to have a higher degree, the money is all the way through professional school. So it doesn't stop just because your kid gets accepted to college. The money is out there.
Wow. Makes me want to go back to school. No, I'm a little old for that. Oh my goodness, lady. This is just amazing. Would you please, I know that you have a gift for our viewers. Would you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Absolutely. I have a short ebook titled The Business of Paying for College: How Business Owners and Six-Figure Earners Get Through Free College for Their Kids. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, well, Denise, your kids got free college because you were broke. You went bankrupt, blah, blah, blah. That lawnmower and trailer we had? Yeah. We built that lawn care business up to 6 figures again within 2 years. So by the time my kids, we were doing pretty darn good. So don't think that just because you have a decent income that your kids, quote, can't get anything. I hear that a lot. But this ebook will give you an idea of what some of the things are that you can do if you're a business owner or if you're working a 6-figure job. Yeah. And for those who are in the high 6 and 7 figures, you really need to start a lot earlier, 2 to 3 years earlier, at least your child's freshman or sophomore year of high school. And get in touch with me because your path is a little bit different.
Wow. You got all the angles down. Yeah, that is really, really amazing. How's your daughter doing?
Fabulously. I'm a grandma now.
are you? Oh my goodness, that is so fabulous. That is so fabulous. Well, let me ask you this: as we're winding down here, your closing remarks. I have another question, and that is, when it comes to living your best life, I'm asking this of everybody. When it comes to living your best life, what advice do you have for our viewers?
Plato famously wrote, "Our need will be our real creator." Or in modern times, necessity is the mother of invention. Right?
Yes.
Things that happen in life happen for you, not to you. Change your perspective. With that devastating financial loss, that how things would turn out for us. But we knew that God had a plan, and we were just in the middle of it. I may not know the outcome at the time, but I do know it's going to be awesome. So keep that perspective.
That is just fabulous. Now we will have ways for people to get in contact with you, your website, and also being able to get your ebook, because I think that's going to sort of go flying off the shelves, even though it's electronic. I think there are going to be people who are going to want to know that. And so you get your friends to get that ebook. Okay. You do that. You're going to be a hero. Okay. You want to be a hero? Get your friends to talk to Denise Thomas. She's your best source for zero college debt and money in hand for car repairs. Yes. My goodness. Okay. Anything else you want to share with us?
I guess the thing that parents need to realize is that whether you have a business or don't, and I'm entrepreneurs or coaches or something to that nature, and that's awesome. There are so many things your kids can learn from you. And guess what? Those things get to be put on their college resume. Life is there's so much greatness that you can help your kids to achieve, but you've got to know how to do it. You've got to know what you're missing. Yeah. It's exciting when you start seeing that spark in your children's eye and giving them these opportunities. It's really a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, I will pat myself on the back as a life coach, teaching for over 35 years. What were you born to do? And, and how do you get there? My two kids, who are 28 and 30, are doing exactly what they were born to do. Why? Because they got daddy as a coach in their lives. My kids love me. And what more can you ask for, Denise?
That's right.
Yeah. It's a good life when you got that family together, and you can help with that family unity, because so much of the stress and the strain in families is financial. And when you can help people, which you do, and you have been doing, and you are doing, and you will do, my goodness, what a great thing to do, to take that stress off of people in a way that is excellent. That is just excellent. It's totally legal. I like that part too. And so anyway, I could sing your praises for a lot longer, but we are running a little bit short of time here. So let's just say goodbye to everybody for Denise Thomas's interview on the Achieve Your Dream Summit, and be watching for now. We'll have it up by the time you see her, by the time you listen to her, we'll have it up for you to be able to get that ebook and to pass on that link so that your friends can get it too, and you can be a hero, right? Okay.
You got it.
Signing off.
Great, Rick. Thank you.
That about wraps it up for day 2 of the Achieve Your Dream Summit. Now, do whatever it takes to carve out the time to attend day 3, same time tomorrow, with yet another powerful group of guest speakers who will share their expertise on even more very diverse and important topics. However, if you're unable to attend all 4 days, then the smart way to always be able to watch any of our speakers anytime is to sign up for the VIP upgrade. You get access to all of their videos, their free gifts, and some very generous premium gifts. As always, I urge you to seriously consider upgrading to VIP before access goes away forever.